Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. My name is Scott, and we are here for a special watch-along experience of SmackDown in Barcelona. Right after this.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
All right, once again, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott, and we are here to go through what is looking likely to be a fun SmackDown. Now, we don't usually do watch-along events here for Raws and SmackDowns, not that often anyway. We've done special occasions here and there, and this kind of feels like that, right? Feels like a bit of a special occasion. Anytime you get an international Raw or an international SmackDown, as we've got tonight, it does feel like it's worth making a big fuss about, and that's what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to watch it. It's going to be a play-by-play experience, and you'll see my instant reactions to what's going on. Not only that, though, we've also got a reporter out in the field. That's right, Lucas himself is out in Barcelona, and we're going to throw over to him to give us a little preview, essentially, throughout this stream as well. And we're also going to see his live updates from the arena itself. So let's do that. Without any further ado, I'll bring in the first clip of Lucas.
City of Barcelona behind me. I'm here for Friday Night SmackDown taking place at the Olimpic Arena tomorrow evening, and we will see the in-ring return of Charlotte Flair for the first time since she won the Royal Rumble match, and she's taken on B-Fab. Now, I wouldn't underestimate that it's B-Fab, as I think she seems like someone who, you know, given the right treatment, could be a star here in this business. And it's good to see Charlotte Flair kind of mixing it up and working with different people. And I didn't actually think she'd wrestled before WrestleMania, so it'll be interesting seeing, obviously, I guess, just getting that ring rust off. I'm hoping it is like a normal kind of match. It's not like a squash or anything like that. I think we need to kind of see Charlotte Flair push to her limits. And I anticipate Tiffy to kind of get her hands on Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair has kind of attacked her and been kind of you know, on top of stuff more so than Tiffany Stratton in this feud so far, and I think obviously as WrestleMania is very, very close now, I think we are going to see Tiffy show some aggression and get a hand on Charlotte Flair.
All right, so great to see Lucas's thoughts on the match with Charlotte Flair. Again, first match back, essentially, if you don't count the Royal Rumble. But let's see what his thoughts were on the upcoming Miz TV segment with Cody Rhodes.
It's Lucas here with another view from Barcelona behind me as we prepare for Friday Night SmackDown in Barcelona in Spain. And so now another segment to discuss, of course, is quite a big one, actually. It's the Miz TV, as host The Miz welcomes current WWE champion Cody Rhodes to the show. Now, they've kind of leaned off talk show segments in the last few months. I think that's been good, but I do envision we're going to be seeing a lot of them on the road to WrestleMania, as it seems to be something they always use to kind of excite and further feuds and rivalries for different people. And so I think they've already confirmed that Cody Rhodes and John Cena are both going to be on Monday Night Raw when that emanates from Brussels on Monday. But I kind of envision that Cody will kind of give some detail as to what he may say, you know, on Miz, to John Cena. Next Monday night. Now, that's interesting now because obviously, you know, they're in a country where the first language isn't English, so these talk segments, they could seem a little bit out of place. So it'll be interesting seeing whether they kind of do a shorter version of the segment, or whether maybe they even use it as a way to put someone like an Andrade, like a oh my god, what are they called? Escobar and his posse. Los Garcia, I think it's called, and other people. We could even see potentially from NXT, Axiom, as he is a Spanish lad. He's not Mexican. He's from Spain. So maybe they will use it to kind of get someone else kind of on that segment, because I always envision it to be a bit weird when there's a talking segment that's not in language. But yeah, I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait to get kind of all near the arena tomorrow night.
So as you see, Lucas very excited about that segment as well. Again, it does beg the question, you know, will it mean a segment that doesn't translate too well? I'm sure there are a lot of people in the arena that do speak English, but as it says, not being the first language, these don't always go down too smoothly. Something else that Lucas is excited for, though, is the Carmelo Hayes Randy Orton match.
Lucas, once again, I'm back at the Airbnb that I booked as the weather is not the best. I tried to film this before outside the Design Museum, great museum, check it out if you do get a chance to come. One of the ones that's actually cheaper than €10 as well. And there's actually quite a lot of information there, maybe a bit too much. But anyway, the next contest discussed is one between Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes. Now, Carmelo Hayes had also formed an alliance with The Miz as of recent, so it could be interesting seeing if The Miz is part of this, although he is obviously scheduled to be part of Miz TV. So you do have Randy Orton making an appearance in Europe. It's always a good thing. I was at Bash in Berlin last year when he faced Gunther, and the atmosphere for his entrance, he's got that kind of legacy pop now. I mean, pardon the pun, I guess. I mean, back in the day, these would be pops that would be reserved for people like The Rock, Hulk Hogan, people when they come back after leaving the company, leaving the business even, and they've come back and they're showered with respect. And I think that's where Randy Orton is now, even just as an active competitor, who obviously hasn't left for WWE. Obviously, was injured for some time. But yeah, since he's come back, he just has been, which is why I don't think they can ever really turn him villain, to be fair. I think that him being heel would just not, it wouldn't work. But then saying that, it turned Cena heel, so, you know. But anyway, I expect this match to be decent. Carmelo Hayes, he has had a few wins lately, but I don't see him edging a win over the Viper. Unless Kevin Owens is going to get involved somehow. I still think Randy Orton needs to win this match. It's his first match kind of back since, obviously, the attack by Kevin Owens. And I think Carmelo Hayes can just eat this loss. And I think there's brighter things for him in the team with The Miz, particularly when it comes to the side of the tag team division, and injecting some new life kind of into that division.
All right, so those are Lucas's thoughts on Carmelo Hayes and Randy Orton. But what does he think from his Barcelona hotel of the tag team division and the match we've got tonight with DIY and the Street Profits?
Hotel a few hours to go until SmackDown goes live from Barcelona, and the final thing to discuss is, of course, the tag team title match as DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tomasso Ciampa take on the Street Profits, Montez, Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Now, it's an interesting one because they've already got the caveat that Pretty Deadly are coming after whoever is the tag team champions when SmackDown's at the O2 in a couple of weeks. So it kind of is de facto like who's going to face Pretty Deadly. And I think given the story of how obviously Pretty Deadly were like the underlings and kind of did everything for DIY, you know, earlier on in their title run, and have just recently done the whole we don't actually want to go with you kind of routine, I think that the match we're going to see in 2 weeks' time in London, England, is going to be the Pretty Deadly team against DIY. So therefore, I think Street Profits are going to have to eat a loss. Though I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a DQ here, and where we do maybe see a triple threat tag team match take place on that SmackDown in 2 weeks. And if you want me to get ahead of time, I do think that we will see brand new tag team champions in 2 weeks' time, as Pretty Deadly should be the ones lifting the belts above their heads at the end, or somewhere on the card, at the O2 in London. I think this is maybe leading to a sort of four-way tag match, could be five, because there's a number of teams now, like DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, Street Profits, and even like Los Lotharios. I think that there's definite scope for multiple teams on SmackDown to be wanting a shot at the tag team belts come WrestleMania, which obviously after SmackDown at the O2 is barely a month away. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the tag division.
All right, so you heard Lucas there. Those are his thoughts on the tag division, and how much will tonight's show affect that? Of course, we could see Pretty Deadly doing something pretty cool in London. But before we get there, we have got SmackDown tonight. You are watching the watch along experience on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. Again, not something we do that often, but we are pleased to do it tonight as this show is in Europe. It means we can watch it at a reasonable time. Now, speaking of which, we are just over a minute away from it starting on Netflix, for us at least. If you're watching on demand, I appreciate you. If you're watching a few hours later, because I know a lot of those out in the States aren't able to watch it just yet, unless you're using VPNs or something like that. But essentially, we are very, very close to it kicking off here live. And again, if you're watching on demand, we're about a minute away as well. So those were Lucas's thoughts out there in, I would say, sunny old Spain. It doesn't look it at the moment, does it? Not the greatest weather. We'll have some more updates on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling's TikTok channel as far as his kind of experience out there in Barcelona as well. Give you a little bit of a vlog experience as far as what it's like to go to a show in Europe, essentially. So, again, we're not that long away from the show itself, which, by the way, Lucas is keeping us up to date with behind the scenes. They've just filmed a match with the Motor City Machine Guns, and they got a great reception. Lucas also says that the Saudi event got a bit of a boo, which is controversial, isn't it? A few comments here as well. Sludge Sports is in the house. He says, I set my alarm for this stream. It's 6 a.m. here. Thank you, buddy. So glad to have you with us as always, and that is some dedication right there. Backlash going to St. Louis, Missouri. You're right. Of course, the hometown of Mr. Randall Keith Orton got announced today, didn't it? So, yeah, really excited to see where we are come Backlash. Of course, got WrestleMania before that, but it's always interesting to see how those two cards have kind of, you know, dynamic essentially between each other. Now, we've got SmackDown about to start just a few moments ago. Lucas is keeping us updated again, sending us some great clips that I'm going to be playing during the show. Essentially, I'll be playing it in the break so that we're not distracted from what's actually going on. Great energy from the clips I'm seeing. Again, I'll put them on screen as we make our way through tonight. But as far as the home experience goes, the show has just started. We are on the Then Now Forever signature together. I always forget that last bit. Oh, a little bit of a glitch there. Don't think that was a Wyatt family style glitch. Did anyone else get that, or was it just me? There we go. Lovely aerial shot of Barcelona. A little peek behind the scenes, guys. If you're not in Barcelona, you won't realize, but it's it doesn't look like that today. It's absolutely pouring it down. And again, we've got some fun videos coming your way from Lucas outside the venue. It looks great. It's not that sunny today. There you go. That's a live shot. Didn't look the same, did it? You can see them all the umbrellas. Huge Olay chants. Lucas said that the Machine Gun's got a great pop, essentially, in the dark match. Interesting setup, right? You've got this angled ramp, a bit like what you get in a PLE. Much smaller stage, though. Lucas has sent me some videos of that as well. We'll show you some behind-the-scenes kind of shots of what that actually looks like, you know, beyond the camera that they want to show us. So we've just seen Cody Rhodes walking backstage, and Gunther's all about his title. That looks a bit odd to see, right? I didn't catch if Cody was wearing his, but it looks a bit weird. He looked miserable, didn't he? He looked quite down. Oh, Randy's with his wife. Okay, interesting. Huge cheer, I should say, for Randy Orton there. Massive. Happy with his wife as well. Oh, Street Profits in. Angelo Dawkins in a Real Madrid shirt there. I assume to annoy the fans in Barcelona. DIY backstage as well. And Johnny's carrying his title. Oh, okay. Randy Orton. Paul Heyman's there as well, walking backstage with a football, as you do, just to say, yeah, Europe. Woohoo! No, it's definitely looking full at the moment. OTC chant now. Oh, LA Knight's out first. Okay. Big reception for LA Knight. As you expect, always gets a good reaction. Interesting setup. It looks, I'll be honest, guys, it looks a lot busier and bigger than the clips that Lucas has shown me. It just shows you the wonders of presentation. But we'll go through some of those in a moment. So yeah, new US champ. Of course, it's a bit of a shame to see Nakamura lose it so quickly. My big complaint about Nakamura was that I didn't feel they were going to use him that quickly, that much with the new title. Yeah, they haven't, have they? So it's a bit of a shame. Now, of course, reports going on that he's had some personal issues, which, you know, my heart goes out to him and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's behind the decision. But yeah, a bit sad, really, a bit unfortunate that we've possibly had a reign cut short here for Nakamura, because he was, you know, reinventing himself. To his credit, I was enjoying his work. I just felt like this sort of thing would happen, and it might be for different reason this time. But yeah, bit of a shame that he's lost it already. But I mean, look at the guy that's got it around his waist right now. People like him, right? He's getting a good reaction, and this audience are on fire already. On fire. 6 years since they've been there, apparently. Maybe on well, I don't think they've done any TV shows there, but 6 years for a tour seems like a long time as well. But then again, we did have a global issue for a while, didn't we? Here we go, LA Knight starting us off on the microphone. What's the chant we're getting? Turn it up in my headphones. Sounds like the old Seven Nation Army. I don't know what they're singing though. I know it's not. It's not late now. Yeah, okay. See, this is the great thing about them going international, man. They used to do it back in the day. Remember when they did the one in Italy when Santino debuted? Of course, they've done loads in the UK. But yeah, great to see it in other countries. It was great seeing the one in France, the one in Germany as well. But they were linked to PLEs, of course. This is just a European tour that they've turned into TV shows, which is what they should have done, I feel, a long time ago. I mean, even to get the Raw and SmackDowns in the UK took quite some time. So yeah, great to see it happening on a wider scale. But what's LA Knight got to say? Yeah, okay. I should have guessed, really. Well, you should say C, really, shouldn't you? I guess that was Alberto's thing with Daniel Bryan saying yes, though, wasn't it? All right, so starting out with a talking segment, as Lucas said on the preview clips that we put up on our socials, it's a risky thing to do in the countries where it's not the first language. English, of course. Oh, he's done a bit of Spanish there, though, to make up for it, to be fair. Barcelona, the native way, it feels there. Fans are really behind this. Bit of a slow start for a TV show, got to be honest. Because again, what are we, 7 minutes in? Not much has happened. Great atmosphere. Makes me feel like I wish I was there. Thankfully for us, we do have someone there. Lucas is in the house and updating us. All right, so again, not much going on at the moment as far as storyline progression in this segment, but we'll see. We'll get much more. You deserve it chant now from the fans. So LA Knight saying it's way too long for him to not have the title. It wasn't that long, mate. Yeah. Oh, okay. Jimmy Uso. Okay. Is this the storyline we're getting? It's a bit odd because two baby faces, and they really need to push Jimmy as a baby face in his own way because he's rebranded himself. I think he's doing quite well, but bit of a risky move to put him out of LA Knight, I'd imagine, at the moment. But let's see. Big Uso chance though. These fans are lapping this show up already. Okay. Jimmy says he's desperate. Okay, so Jimmy Uso is challenging LA Knight for the US title in Barcelona. Oh no. Okay. Now this makes sense. Solo's music is hit. And the new bloodline are with him. Jimmy looked very disappointed. Gonna be overshadowed again. Okay, this is interesting. Is this going to go anywhere though? Like, maybe not even just tonight. Is this going to lead to something at WrestleMania for the US title? It's so weird, by the way, guys. Watching the SmackDown live at 10 minutes past 7. We don't get to do that often here in the UK. Okay. Oh, what happened there? Oh, so really stumbled over his words there. Really stumbled over his words. Jimmy says the biggest failure he ever did was trust him as his little brother. Okay, and Jimmy says even bigger than that is losing the Ulafala to Roman Reigns. OTC chart now. I don't think he's there. He's been announced for some of these European shows, but it'd be a surprise if he showed up at this one. I mean, of course, he had a big segment on Raw, didn't he? We'll maybe touch on that as we go out, go throughout this show. Oh, okay. Helen DDT from Tama on to Jimmy. Now the Bloodline are beating Jimmy and LA up. Who's this? Oh, Braun Strowman. They're all getting big pops. The fans in Barcelona are on fire, man. I can't wait to hear Lucas's kind of updates and what the experience is like for him in person. It does seem like a great crowd to be a part of. Then their baby faces are taking control. I guess we're going to get a 6-man tag tonight then. Surely that's where this is going. They teased the fans with a title match though, didn't they? I mean, we do have a tag title match later on, to be fair. Here we go. Right on cue. Mr. GM. There's a lot of Spanish there from I was going to call him Magnus there. Yeah, I've been doing Duolingo lately, but it was a bit fast for me, that. About 450 odd days in, though. The show was there next year. I might be able to cut a promo myself. All right, we're going to the break now. So, on Netflix, what are we getting? All right, we're getting the We'll Be Right Back. In that case, we'll fill in the gap. We're going to play you some clips from inside the venue from just before the show itself started. Here's Lucas.
So I've made it inside the arena. It's all very loud. I don't know if you're going to get anything, but the merchandise is back there. I'm going to go in a second, get a sneak peek of the ring. Let's go. Walk with me. I don't know if you can hear any of this, by the way. It's very loud here, even though the show has not gone down yet.
This is the first view of the ring. A little bit earlier than what we saw just a moment ago, where it is packed.
Yeah, he is inside at the moment.
Punk chant as well.
That's the ring, obviously. We're going to be... I think they've got a much smaller stage set up for SmackDown tonight.
So as Lucas says, it does look a little smaller than what we're used to seeing. But then again, when I go international, they do have these changes up to the set anyway. So let's see some more of these clips from Lucas. I mean, they're loud before it's even full. Look at that. Great atmosphere. And again, this is even before it was full. Seems like we're about a minute away from the ads on Netflix from ending, so we'll play more of these clips. What the atmosphere is like in the venue itself on their seats. They got a big pop. It's built up at this point. All right, once again, some great clips there from Lucas, and we'll keep you updated with his experiences throughout the night as well. As I say, it's great to be able to kind of get someone roaming and out there at the show itself. Of course, we're watching it from this vantage point, which, speaking of which, we are back live with the show. The match has started. Here we go, 6-man tag underway. I was going to say the graphic looks different there in the corner, but I realised it's the Spanish flag. Yeah, Solo in a bit of control there, but Jimmy is... That mat looks great with the WWE logo in the middle, doesn't it? I do like that. I know it's mainly for sponsors these days, but... they're counting in Spanish. Of course they would. I always get taken by surprise when the fans do that. I love it, though. I love that little kind of national flavour you get of kind of personality, essentially. Spinning Solo there from the man himself. Obviously back in control. Speaking of control, we got Jacob Fatu on the apron. Can imagine what it's going to be like when he gets involved. Well, that's chants in English. It's a bit of a naughty one, if I'm hearing correctly. I won't be repeating that one on air, but they're not fans of Solo Sikoa, it seems. Tamatonga with a cheap shot on Jimmy. Solo, although he slipped up a bit in the promo there, he does seem quite loose and kind of relaxed and confident. I think a lot was weighing on him, not just in the storyline and he's playing up to it, but I think legitimately with the way the story was going and stuff. But anyway, we did his little kind of impression of Jacob's taunt. Jacob gets in and does it. Everybody loves it. And then Tamatonga does a yeah as well, which I can't do. I can't do it myself, guys. I won't do it justice. Bad guys are definitely in control though. Solo feels like he's got a new lease of life. Again now of Jacob Fatu. Jimmy Uso chant now. Again, these fans are loud. Be interested to see if they release the attendance number on the show, because as I say, Lucas was telling me that it's not the biggest venue, and you saw the setup is a little bit different. I think on camera they've done a great job at making it look even bigger, but he says it is a little bit smaller than what you might see usually. But it's packed. They've done a great job. Like, again, presentation-wise, it does look good on TV. The fans are on fire, man. And they're just happy, I think, to be involved in canon. Yeah, like stuff that matters. TV shows that get, that air, that are real. It's not just a live event, which are great, by the way. Live events are fantastic because they've got their own different kind of flavor. But when that's all you get, it can get a little bit stale. You start wanting something different, right? So for these international territories, essentially, to get live PLEs and live Raws and SmackDowns, I think is a great thing, essentially. Even just for the presentation. Look how mad. Like these fans just seem LA Knight with the jump up to the top rope and the elbow drop. They just seem so on fire. It makes WWE look amazing that they've got such a rabid fan base, like it goes to Spain and people love them like this. Oh, Jacob throwing LA Knight about there, nearly knocked him into the ref. Didn't matter anyway. Jacob has taken advantage of LA Knight for sure. Oh, we're going to another break. What are we going to get this time? Because sometimes on Netflix now, yes, okay, that's what we're getting. You get to see the show continue, which they don't do, I'm told, in America because it's still on normal TV. So if you are watching this on demand and you are from the States and you're watching it on TV out there on the USA Network, then you may not get to see any of this. But essentially what's happening at the moment is Tomasso has taken over. Well, LA Knight in the corner, runs up. Lovely splash into the corner there. Got 2.5 minutes until the official feed comes back. But at the moment, we are in what's traditionally the break. Solo's now in the ring, stomping on the hands of LA Knight and taking a mick, doing his old taunt as well. LA Knight stopped his punch, started throwing a few of his own, whipping to the corner, reverse. LA Knight whacks into the turnbuckle himself. And Solo's having fun with mocking him again. It's like someone's not told Solo this is a TV show and he's treating it like a house show. Like I say, some things are great about house shows. You get to see the wrestlers basically have fun a lot more. They're a little bit off script. Feels like Solo's been a bit that. Unless his character's kind of tweaked a little bit lately since he's come back, but he definitely seems a little bit more cocky and jovial. Goes for the pin. LA Knight kicks out on the 2. Or on a DOS, I should say. Which reminds me, I've got to do my Duolingo after this show, guys. I better not lose that streak. I'm worried I'm going to forget. This is a long show these days, right? SmackDown's 3 hours, so but I'll remember. And then after that, we'll have a review show as well, by the way, guys. So stick around for that. And hopefully we'll hear more from Lucas throughout the night so we can figure out what it was like for those in the venue. Speaking of those in the venue, they're seeing a 2 count there from Tamatonga, who's pulling back LA into the bloodline corner now as he tries to claw for a tag. Jacob Fatu's in the ring now. About 50 seconds to go until the main feed comes back on. A headbutt from Jacob Fatu. Braun is pacing up and down outside the ring. I don't think he's been in the match yet. Jacob set up a big old booty smash into the corner. I don't know what the official name for that move is, but you know what I'm saying, right? Solo tags back in the ring to a chorus of boos. And we're back live right now. Here we are. Again, negative chance to Solo here. Solo setting LA up for his own booty smash. And he moves. So Barrett saying that Solo's got distracted essentially because the Spanish fans are being unkind. I'm trying to remember what side Lucas was on there because the ring was on the left, stage is on the right, so he is not camera side, I think. Otherwise, we could look out for him. The Monster's in the ring, taking control as you'd expect. Big boot to Tama. Clearing house. I do wonder what's next for Braun. What's next for him tonight, though, is to run around the ring. He's about to hit the Strowman Express into Solo, into Jacob, into Tama. And I liked how Jimmy set that up there, kind of pointing where he should go. Sort of like the fat controller, if you will, to use another train term. Specifically, Thomas the Tank Engine, if you're unaware and thinking, why is he calling some controller fat? LA Knight throws himself out the ring. Those ring ropes are a bit shaky. Jimmy flies through the second and third rope into Jacob Fatu, flies over the announce table. In the ring now. Strowman takes over. Tama Tonga's on his shoulders. Here we go. Running power slam. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. That's it. Energetic opener on this SmackDown from Barcelona. Oh. Samoan spike, I think that was, right into the neck of Braun Strowman as his hand held in the air by the ref. Solo took advantage, but now LA has taken advantage of him, throwing him over the guardrail. Bit of a melee going on here. Jacob Fatu looking frustrated. Oh, hits Jimmy with a super kick. And now slides into the ring. Goes after Braun Strowman. Yeah, takes him out. Oh, lovely moonsault. Another moonsault. How does this segment end? And where do they go here? What do these guys do at WrestleMania? Like all of them. Going for a third. Hits it. Fans are really behind Jacob. I mean, he is cool, isn't he? Fatu chant. And he walks out the ring on his way to the back with Tama Tonga. No Solo, though. Solo went over the guardrail, courtesy of LA Knight. So is that going to be the match? Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman, WrestleMania? I mean, the card's already looking like it's going to be stacked. How much room have they got? So Tammy's walking further to the back, but Jacob's running back to the ring. And around the ring. Oh, my gosh. So he's taking out Braun Strowman there. Through the guardrail. Lent massively into himself, and his arm kind of hit Braun, but cool moment. One that they're going to no doubt replay a few times. Now Jacob's own music has hit, and they are going to have a bit of a cleanup job on their hands here. Interesting. All right, so as they're saying on air at the moment, big night ahead with a card. We've got Charlotte Flair facing B-Fab. Match I didn't expect to see, but I look forward to it. And Naomi and Jade. Okay, what are we going to see with that? Showing the recap of Jade's attack last week. Okay. Okay, so Cargill's going to have a sit down with Kathy Kelly up next. An ad for 2025 Hall of Fame now, Triple H. Wow, the clip they use is the old "I am the effing game." I mean, they blurred it, beep it. It's crazy. I'm thinking like there's probably a lot of people watching this that never saw Triple H wrestle or never saw him wrestle full time at least. And this is quite a promo package for him, man. It just reminds you, like, he was a lot of fun. All right. See, I'm loving the fact that the Hall of Fame is now going to be. They're using like an old picture of him with his long hair. Hall of Fame is now going to be in a theater again. Really, really excited about this. If you've been a subscriber to this channel for a while, you may have seen our video already where we dove in depth on basically the problems that the Hall of Fame have had over the past few years, in our opinions. You know, it's highlighted by, I think, those two images of Bret Hart there. It just, what a completely different presentation style. And of course, if you remember what happened to the one on the right hand side, you'll know just how kind of messy and uncomfortable that was. And there's been a lot of factors about the Hall of Fame just kind of feeling like an afterthought, really. This year, I think, it's different. Not just because the boss isn't getting inducted, right? I do think that they probably would have changed things up eventually anyway. But we don't know how much they're changing it up. They're moving it back to a theater. Hopefully you get people in suits and stuff like that. Again, I always like going to the Hall of Fame myself as an opportunity to dress up and kind of feel like you're part of something special, like in an award ceremony or something like that. I don't like it when the fans go in their wrestling shirts and stuff like that. It's just, it's not about that for me. But it become more of a afterthought on SmackDown where, well, you're not going to go SmackDown in your suit, are you? So, yeah. Anyway, if you haven't already, check that video out on this channel. It's how to fix the Hall of Fame. And again, myself and Rob go in depth on that very topic. And yeah, again, I'm glad to see that some of the things we spoke about have been fixed, it seems. But there's a few more comments on that. I'm sure many of you will find interesting. Now that was it should be in live, right, guys? Woo! Right. Now this break, we've had the classic promo shots play, basically. No continuation of the live feed again, because I guess there's no match. But it says we are just about 20 odd seconds away from the show coming back. What do you guys think of it so far? think it's been a good SmackDown. It's a good way to start it with the explosive 6-man tag and just a bunch of people being super over. Again, whether you're watching live with us at the moment or you're watching on demand because you're watching SmackDown on your own time, or maybe you're watching it internationally where it's on delayed. We appreciate you either way. And again, want to know your comments. The first SmackDown in Barcelona, second largest city in Spain, ninth most visited city in the world, and hosted the 92 Summer Olympics. A little bit of a trivia there WWE have given us on Barcelona. Again, they're showing all this amazing footage of Barcelona in the lovely sunshine. It's not sunny today, guys. I mean, I'm not taking a mic. Who am I to? I'm a Brit. It rains a lot, but it is just ironic. All right, now we've got a little bit of a recap video about the Jade, Naomi, and Bianca storyline. Still don't know where to go with this, man. Like, if you watched our coverage of Elimination Chamber, you know, we dove into our predictions and where we thought this was going to go. And when Jay Cargill come back and returned, it was amazing. Really, really enjoyed it. I think it was perfectly executed. If you haven't already, check out my original thoughts on that. Again, the instant reaction review is on this very channel as well. But I still don't know where to go with this. I've been saying all along that I felt like Naomi and Naomi and Bianca were involved. And at the moment, Naomi's come forward and said it was her. But she said it to Bianca as if Bianca didn't know, which I'm not sure if they're going to swerve us here and Bianca's going to go, look, I knew all along. It was all part of the plan. But at the moment, Naomi is basically making it look like it's just her. I like this promo video, by the way, because now, like, we get some great accompanying footage above what was an amazing promo segment between Naomi and Bianca. This is a great promo package. Those tears from there, man. Oof. High level acting there. And Bianca's been great in this part of the storyline as well. The way she was at the Chamber, again, I mentioned it in that original review, but and then Jay comes out and just batters her again. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. I can't call it. Is this going to be a WrestleMania match? Or is this going to be something that impacts Bianca's title match? Naomi's screaming for Bianca. That was a great shot. Okay, so it was done in earlier today, empty arena. Let's see what the interview brings. I said Jade saying she's doing better, but Naomi is pathetic, essentially. It's interesting. How's it going to work with Jade? Because you could come quite heelish here. Okay, so how did she know? Let's see. How did you know? Oh, okay. So she's saying she got hit in the back. Everything went dark, and all she saw was Naomi running away. Okay. But she didn't see Bianca, is what I'm thinking. Jay's saying she's got trust issues now. It's just not. Oh, look. Liv and Raquel showing up now. Okay, so Liv's annoyed that she's been getting blamed, and this is a cool little segment. Jay saying if I was still around, you wouldn't have that title. Okay, so Jade wants to fight Liv next week. Liv says don't get pushed on too many cars between now and then. Okay. Wow. Interesting little segment there. B-Fab backstage. Oh, some Spanish from her as well. So that's a lot more Spanish on the show than I expected. That was a great promo from B-Fab there. So is this her first ever match? WWE 2K25 ad now as well. $2K games have played changed a lot since I last played them. I was talking about this on the Elimination Chamber stream. I haven't played a 2K game in years. I think it might have been 2K15, which is yeah, it's making me feel quite old if I'm honest. But what we're going to do now is actually I'm going to show you another one of Lucas's videos now. This is from before he went into the venue. It gives you a little bit of sense of what it was like as people were preparing to go inside, essentially, but also tells us a little bit more about what you can expect from us at Rebellious Noise in the coming weeks.
Not sure if it's coming out on camera, but the queue is slowly moving behind me. You see people shuffling forwards. And yeah, this is my opportunity really to tell people, to remind people, we are going to be actually doing a lot of kind of lives for the upcoming Road to WrestleMania Tour. Obviously, it's a big deal for us here in Europe, getting the TV shows back to back to back, mixed in with the house show, the live event, sorry, as they're now known. And, you know, it's also good because it means it's streaming live on Netflix for us. I'm sorry, US viewers, more people exist in your country. I kid. But, you know, it just means that obviously we have the opportunity to be watching Raw and SmackDown at about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, you know, every week now for a few weeks, and that's great for us. I know it sucks for you guys in America having to watch it while you're at work, whatever, but now I'll say you kind of know how we feel. We've had to be up to 1 a.m. in the morning usually watching it, but yeah, it does mean that we will have a lot of chances here on the Rebel Noise Pro Wrestling channel to cover a lot of the action live as it happens, with watch-alongs, review shows, predictions, and much more. As I think the way they do it now, I quite like how they do the Raw and SmackDown previews, and obviously they announce kind of what you're getting, and things are making better sense on a week-to-week basis. To an extent. But it does mean obviously we are going to be covering what, I don't know, I'm going to say we, but I'm willing for Rob to say he doesn't want it, but we are hoping and willing on our boys Pretty Deadly later on in the month to be winning those tag team championships at the O2 in front of the home crowd. But yeah, I'm maybe heading into the queue very shortly. I'm just going to enjoy the last bit of dryness I'm going to get probably for God knows how long until I get into the actual arena, and I'll try and do a video once I'm in there if it's not too loud.
All right, so as you saw there, Lucas talked a lot bit about the tag division. We're going to see the tag team division have some real progress tonight, you'd imagine, between the Street Profits and DIY, of course, and it will give us a bit of a sense as to where we are going for the rest of this European tour, and of course where we're going into WrestleMania as well, as he alluded to there. But as he mentions, we are going to be doing a lot of content in the coming weeks on this channel surrounding the European tour. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. It's a great opportunity for us to do a lot more of this kind of reasonably timed watch-alongs and things like that. So yeah. Now, Charlotte Flair's music is hit. We are back live. And again, our first match since the Royal Rumble. It's going to be really interesting to see how they go here, because, again, if I'm right in thinking this is B-Fab's first match, or one of few matches, really, it doesn't make her look good if Charlotte just comes in and beats her. Whoa, some pyro for Charlotte. Royal Rumble winner and all. She beats her easily, but if Charlotte struggles against B-Fab, that doesn't make the Royal Rumble winner going to WrestleMania for the title look good either. So how do you deal with it? Well, I guess you have a little bit of time. It becomes Tiffy time, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, Lucas's original predictions did say that he felt like Tiffany Stratton would get involved here. I think she'll get a massive pop if she shows up, by the way. As basically everyone else is getting, don't get me wrong, but I'm just getting a message from behind the scenes about Lucas seems to be a fan of Charlotte's gear. She has got some great gear on tonight. Looks almost WrestleMania worthy. Christopher Leclerc's in the house as I hate Charlotte Flair. Oh, you're not going to like this next segment, are you? Unless maybe B-Fab picks up the win and it's a little bit better for you, mate. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in to this watch along. Again, anyone else watching along, let us know what you think of SmackDown so far. Really interested to know your thoughts if you've enjoyed this presentation from Barcelona. We're about 45 minutes into the show itself. Christopher says, I'm not interested in Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania 41. Seriously, don't care about it. Look, I think it's good for Tiffany, really. I think it's if Charlotte wins, I will be disappointed. But if Tiffany wins, then I think it'll all be worth it. Because I think it'll be kind of cementing her at the top of the women's roster. And I think that's a good thing to do, really. What are you looking forward to, Christopher? I know not a lot of matches have been announced so far for WrestleMania, but is there anything that you're excited about that we've got the hints of at least? And likewise, anyone else watching, let us know in the comments what you're thinking about this road to WrestleMania. You think Tiffany's going to lose, do you, Christopher? I hope you're wrong, man. I hope you're wrong. Let's see if she shows up tonight, though. A few chops here from Charlotte Flair on B-Fab. I need to see. I keep saying it's B-Fab's like first match. All right. No, it's not. But is it her first singles match on the main roster or something? No, but she's not had many. Okay. She faced Piper Niven in January. Talking about singles matches here. She faced a couple of triple threats. Natalia for the Speed Championship on 2 occasions in November and December. Back on the break now, guys. 2 minutes to go until they come back on air, but we are seeing it live. So again, for those that aren't watching a stream where you do get the bit in between, I'll fill you in what's going on. If you're watching out in the States on USA a few hours delayed, then essentially what you're getting now is Charlotte in the ring, just dragged B-Fab back in essentially after giving her a few stomps. B-Fab's taking control a little bit there, goes for a rollover pin, lift up for the bridge from Charlotte, spin around twice, and she's trying to hit her with a backslide. B-Fab's holding on, but oh, Charlotte. Now, I guess she's a heel, but still, she grabbed B-Fab by the hair and hit her basically with a net breaker and threw her head down. Yeah. Christopher says, Jey Uso versus Gunther, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that because, again, I think it needs to be a certain result. I think Jey Uso winning at WrestleMania would be a great feel-good story. I'm not sure where we go going forward, and I'm not sure it's the world title match people wanted, but I do think just for the moment itself, it's worth doing. If we don't get a moment, again, just like the match we've just been talking about, Charlotte and Tiffany, I don't really want to see the match because we've seen it already. And as fun as it was, we've seen it already. Don't need to see it again if it doesn't have a different result. Now, the story's changed. You know, Gunther's furious at Jey, and we might see a bit more of that later tonight. But yeah, a bit of a shame if Jey doesn't win. B-Fab went for the pin. Only got a 1, though. Maybe a 2. Got the ad down the bottom here talking about the road to WrestleMania. Brussels on Monday, Glasgow and London coming up as well. I think they're dates for John Cena since he's on the graphic there. Going to be really interesting to see how John Cena is presented in Europe as a heel. Like, I'm surprised they didn't bring him back in America first to kind of establish how the fans feel about him, generally speaking, rather than fans that haven't seen him for years and excited to say goodbye. It's a bit strange, but we'll touch on that in a bit more detail soon. We're coming back live on the air now, by the way, guys, on the main feed, but the feed that we continue to get on Netflix, the last thing we saw was Charlotte getting booed and doing the cross chop, which I didn't expect to see. The D-Generation X flavor there from Charlotte. Charlotte's now ramming B-Fab's head into the mat with her thighs. Oh, a lovely little roll over there. She's really controlling B-Fab. Going back to B-Fab's history, though, like I say, 2 matches against Natalia for the Speed Championship tournament. She faced, as I say, 1-on-1 Piper Niven. Go a little bit further back, though, just looking at her match history on cagematch.net. She had a dark match against Natalia. She's faced Natalia quite a few times, it seems. Go further back, Natalia again. Yeah, on house shows. She's faced Natalia quite a few times. And we go all the way back to her time in NXT when we get her next match. It's against Elektra Lopez, Trina Cortez. Yeah. And then again, not even many in NXT though. But I think she's got a lot of potential though. I know Lucas said it on the preview earlier. You know, there's a good position for her on this roster, it seems. She especially her background, you know, we talked about earlier from Colombia. Definitely helps in international territories like this where she can do Spanish promos. Great talker. In ring doing well as well. And she's in control of this match at the moment. Charlotte's selling it. This has made B-Fab look good, actually. Woo. Nice sweeping kick as it's described on the commentary. A little slow. I wonder if she was just put on this show because of the not because of the Spanish promo she was going to do, but like, oh, lovely kick there from B-Fab. Oof, got a 2. Like, I wonder if they just saw this as a good time to pull the trigger essentially and do something with her. But yeah. Lucas also mentioned earlier, as far as actual, not just Spanish speakers, but Spanish wrestlers potentially being on this show. Hey, kid, you could also get Axiom. I think it's the one Lucas was mentioning before. Another comment here from Christopher Leclerc. It says, I'm waiting for WWE to make Bayley versus Roxanne Perez at WrestleMania 41 since Roxanne Perez is done with NXT. Yeah, I was initially thinking that match might be on NXT, Stand and Deliver, because of Bayley's time going back to NXT a little while ago. But yeah, you're right. It does seem like she's done with NXT, Roxanne. But maybe that's where you squeeze it on. Or maybe they do manage to find a way to put it on the main WrestleMania card. The figure 8's locked in now, though. B-Fab's had a good time, but she's got to give up. There she goes. Oh, not releasing it. Surely this is going to be Tiffy time. The music's got to hit, right? Because then the fans will pop. Come on. Refs are trying to stop her. Here we go. Tiffany Stratton runs for the ring. She bounced on the rope and spun back around, it seems. Oh, man. Credit to her, she was running like mad to get in that ring, and then boing. She dove in the back of her, I think, bounced back. Oh. Anyway, all the security now to stop him. Fun time's over. Oh. No, security of pulling away. Good reaction there for Tiffany Stratton, as expected. Very much over at the moment in general, but yeah, to be out there in Spain. Oh, Tiff has got Charlotte flying at her now because Charlotte has just elbowed a few of those security members in the face. Now the fans are just giving the old Seven Nation Army chant. Oh, Charlotte's pulled Tiffany out the ring. Tiffany really didn't seem like she wanted to get out of the ring there, though. They're separating them again. You don't get this much with the women's roster, do you? So it's good to see. I wonder how many of these security guards are Spanish indie wrestlers. Ooh! Lying forearm off the steel steps there from Tiffany onto Charlotte. Quite cool the way she jumped sort of towards the camera there as well. It'd be cool to get another shot of that. And now Charlotte's on top of the announce next. Throws off. Woo. Elbow to the face of Tiffany now as well. Wow. 26 days away from WrestleMania, and this match has really started to get in the heat behind it, isn't it? Oh, now they're trying to. Tiffany's up there. No! Tiffy time off the top with the swanton bomb. That's very late there. That was a bit of a close one, but she took out all the security. It was quite the spot. Charlotte looks enraged. That was cool. I mean, look, I know we got that recently with Seth and CM Punk, which was great as well. So it's a risk doing it twice, but I think it was still fresh when you see it for the women's division. Now we've got Drew McIntyre with a promo video talking about his history of being screwed. Oh, that moment at Mania was still so cool. I loved it for Damien as well, but it was. See, Drew said it's perfect till it wasn't, but I think it was perfect even still, Drew, because you got a moment, Priest got a moment. It told us that the Punk match was coming with you. Got to say, Drew, I enjoyed it. And now he's talking about being screwed at Clash. It was a heel here, and then again, CM Punk screwed him. He could go further back, though. He could go in. I mean, his heel turn came from being annoyed at things that happened to him as a babyface, right? We can go back to the other Clash in Cardiff. Money in the Bank. Wins it again. Cashes it in. Screwed again by Punk. Oh, so it's all focused on Priest, ain't it? Priest and Punk, obviously, but because obviously we are going into Priest versus McIntyre, then the rumored match that they seem to be pushing after Rumble, and then even more so now after Chamber, seems to be what we are going to get. Okay. See, when you play the promo package, you're like, that's a great story. They've got a good story to tell. It makes sense. But I wanted something different for Drew. And Damien could have been doing something else as well. But anyway, promoting now the fact that we got the WWE Tag Team titles on the line tonight. We'll be breaking that down as it happens. And again, after this stream, guys, we're going to have a an instant reaction review. But right now, though, looks like we're going to get the Miz TV segment with Cody Rhodes. All right, so it looks like we're going to go to a break. And as we do that, I think what we'll do is throw it over to another video from inside the venue itself. So as we hit to a break on the SmackDown stream itself, let's see what it's like in person. Here's a clip that Luke sent us of Charlotte Flair's entrance from her reception in Barcelona. The fans are a lot fuller than they were when he showed us those audio clips, and look at that. That's the pyro right there. And as I say, Luke sent me a text about Charlotte's attire, and he said in terms of that video, like, he thinks going blind, basically. Quite a shiny attire of the Queen. Arena now. About 2.5 minutes away from SmackDown coming back. In the meantime, I say we are bringing you action from within the venue itself. Our roaming reporter, that is Lucas, out in the field there in Barcelona, Spain at the very moment as well. We don't just bring you content based on what's going on the TV show. Let you know what's going on in the venue as well. And again, let's have a little look at the atmosphere in the house tonight, because this is the live reaction to brawl we just saw just a few moments ago from Tiffany and Charlotte Flair, WrestleMania opponent. Oh, so Lucas is behind the cameras there. The announcers, I should say. There we go. Okay. Cool view. Cool view for Lucas out there in Barcelona. We're about a minute away from the show coming back. And again, it's going to be Miz TV time. We're going to see Cody Rhodes, who I'm sure has got a few things to say about Mr. John Cena. They're both going to be in Brussels on Monday. And yeah, first time we're going to see since the Elimination Chamber, both of them on the same show. Now, will they be in the same segment? Be interesting to see. And how they work around Cena's farewell tour, being a kind of legacy act and a heel at the same time. And the first public appearance as a heel since turning is going to be quite interesting. But that's not tonight. Tonight is just Cody Rhodes. And again, we're just over 30 seconds away now from a return to the SmackDown feed itself. Thank you to everyone that's joined us tonight, though. Again, whether you're watching live or on demand, you are watching the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling Channel's watch-along experience of SmackDown, not just covering what's going on within the TV show itself, but of course, as we've said, the behind the scenes and the kind of atmosphere and what's going on in Barcelona for WWE fans on this Friday night. And here we go, bringing it back to the action itself. Some clips here of Las Vegas, hyping us up for WrestleMania. And I've got a little chill just saying that because I am excited. So the biggest superstore in history, apparently, for WWE at least in Vegas for WrestleMania week. Okay, now we're going to get a SmackDown epic moment in history. 2017, we're throwing it back to AJ Styles going after the WWE title. This was in the UK, yeah. Against Jinder Mahal. Styles foot on the ropes. Interesting that they're showing, a moment from the past, and they're showing another European show, essentially, another European SmackDown event. And AJ Styles wins the title off of Jinder Mahal. And now we are back in the ring with The Miz. Oh, no, the fight is continuing. Now, what a way to outdo the CM Punk and Seth Rollins one. They didn't go this long, did they? Oh, man, that's cool. Wow. Commentary says, well, they thought they had it contained, but they definitely do not, do they, guys? Scrapping on the top of the ramp. Oh. Charlotte's thrown even Tiffy over the case there, but Tiffany's climbed back up on top of it. What's she gonna do now? Charlotte saying, "Get off me." Fans are cheering, but we can't see. Oh my gosh, she's at the top of the stage. Ah! Wow. Swanton off the top. Now this one, she tucks her head and ducks a little bit quicker, and it does look a little smoother. I do wonder if they've gone out there just to shoot that, because they thought, you know what, let's add that. Because the other one was a great highlight, would have been a great replay to use, but slightly sloppier looking than this one. And this one is so much more impressive as well. So I wonder if they just decided in that break of, we're going to do something else. You're going to go back out there. Or maybe not. Maybe it was planned all along. I don't know. But either way, that was cool. This is awesome chant. And Miz TV, he's taking credit now. He's saying it's a good way to start Miz TV. Wow, and now Miz is speaking Spanish. This is an impressive show from the WWE Superstars. And I understood some of that, by the way. Miz said that Cody got beat up by two great rappers. I didn't know where he was going there. He said Travis Scott and John Cena. Oh, yeah, John Cena is a rapper, wasn't he? I wonder if we will get a new theme song. It's going to be so weird getting that first presentation of him as a heel in Brussels. I mean, great for them. Great for me to be able to watch it at a reasonable time live. But I'm surprised they haven't done it in the States and then brought him over on the tour. But here we go. Time for Cody Rhodes. You imagine a huge reception for the American Nightmare here. Yep, fans are singing it as expected. See, I'm getting like rock again. Look, goosebumps. He wouldn't like that though, would he? For Cody Rhodes' theme song. Whoa. There we go. Woof. Big pyro. It's always great when you see the international fans sing the theme songs. They bring it to life. And especially, again, if it's not their first language. I think it's so cool. Seen it for Randy Orton. Seen it for here for Cody Rhodes as well. So it's not the suited and booty Cody Rhodes either. It's tracksuit jacket Cody Rhodes. You'd expect if he's going on a chat show, that's when you would wear a suit, right? This gives us an idea of what he thinks of the Miz. They haven't even got promo shots to see in here yet. They're just showing him looking miserable at Chamber. Oh. Oh, Miz says cut. Right before the woe. The fans do it anyway, but Cody's disappointed on the top rope. Miz says he ain't got time for a sing-along with Cody Rhodes. He's going to answer hard-hitting questions, and he's already been interrupted by Tiffany. So, oh! No, you ain't asking any questions, mate. Cody attacks him straight away. On the floor, uppercut. Crossroads. Is he just going to get on the mic and talk? Yeah, Miz is gone. That was the end of Miz TV, guys. Although I'll probably still take claim and praise for whatever happens here. Barcelona Nightmare shirt as well. Cody don't want to talk to anyone but John Cena. Oh, okay. Short and sweet from Cody Rhodes. He said, if you got time to join us on the road to WrestleMania next Monday, I'll be there. And we kind of knew that already, right? It'd been promoted, but you know, a short but sweet segment there. I do hope the fans in attendance gets a little more from Cody, maybe, or as a dark match or another long promo or something like that. But yeah, cool little segment as far as the TV show goes for, right? That's what we need on the road to WrestleMania. Short and sweet there. Again, I did wonder what they do. They can't really drag it out too much. We need to have something go on with Cody and Cena, and it looks like we're not going to stall too much as far as creating extra content that doesn't need to be made as far as a back and forth between Miz and Cody. Okay, now backstage footage of Nakamura. He wants a rematch. Now, Priest wants to know where, I'm guessing Drew is? Oh. Looks like we're going to get Nakamura and Priest tonight. All right, so Nakamura spoke in Japanese, and Priest says, well, I can speak in a language that people here will understand, in Spanish, essentially, and says he wants to beat up Nakamura, so there's going to be a match between the two. So there we go. Damian Priest music is hit. Good time to say that again. I thank you all so much for joining us on this stream here tonight. If you're new here, my name is Scott, here for the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We don't just do watch-alongs though. We do have more content surrounding pro wrestling on this very channel, including interviews with the likes of the man you can see in your screens right now, and that is Mr. Damian Priest. We've also had great conversations with Rhea Ripley and members of Imperium in the past. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe because we'll have more of that coming your way in the future as well. Now, speaking of international shows, we also had an announcement a few weeks ago now that Clash is going to Paris. A huge PLE that has been announced for the French capital. And again, getting that international feel is something that I'm very much looking forward to in this for this PLE as well. So if you haven't already, check out our reaction to that news, because I broke down some interesting features that the venue that has been announced has in store as well. So we could potentially be seeing a change from the norm, essentially, when it comes to WWE's presentation of a PLE when they head to Paris. So again, if you haven't already, check that one out. Strange, though, that they're showing press conference footage of Triple H, which is kind of out of character. Oh, and he says, I don't know what he's going to do as a heel. So they're actually saying the word heel on what is now canon, like real TV, you know? It's a bit interesting. All right, so we're back into the promo time, guys, where it's just showing us footage, essentially, of the superstars. So, yeah, I want to know what you guys think of the show itself. Have you enjoyed SmackDown so far? We're about an hour and 15 minutes into the show. Again, whether you're watching live or on demand, we appreciate you. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing, not just on your screens as far as SmackDown goes, but, of course, what you're seeing here on YouTube and the Rebellious Noise Twitch channel, where we are doing a kind of a double stream, essentially. I mentioned it earlier on, but if you want to see my thoughts on John Cena's heel turn in more detail, and of course the returns of Jade Cargill and Mr. Randy Orton, then you can check out the Elimination Chamber instant reaction review on this very channel. Speaking of which, we are going to do an instant reaction review for this SmackDown. As soon as SmackDown is in the books, I'm going to let you know in detail, essentially, once I've took a little bit of a step back, what I thought of the show itself. But what you're watching right now is our watch-along experience. And again, you are getting my kind of, well, even more instant reactions, right? I'm telling you what's going down as it happens. But not just me. We've had Lucas out there in Barcelona filling us in with what's going on within the vicinity of the venue and also inside the venue at the show itself. And hopefully we'll be bringing you more content from Lucas as the show continues as well. How great was it to kind of get that vantage point and see what it's like as far as the fans' view of that Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte chaos just a moment ago. Now we're about 40 seconds away from a show coming back on air. In the meantime, though, I'm getting a video coming in. Let's see if I can play this for you before the show starts, actually. From Lucas, once again. For some strange reason, they are playing this theme song in the arena. The Generation X theme. See a few fans there giving the old cross chop. Quite a few of them, actually. I think it's just, I guess, just hyping up the crowd, essentially. But pretty cool to see that. Again, these are the things we try and bring you from Rebellious Noise, guys. It's not just what's going on in the TV show. Trying to bring you into the venue itself. And again, a huge shout out to Lucas for sending us this content. What we're seeing on the screen at the moment now, though, is a promo video for Ray Phoenix, maybe? Was that for Ray Phoenix? Was that for Ray Phoenix? Right, now, if you're unfamiliar, Ray Phoenix in AEW, a little bit of a sour ending of his time there. His Lucha brother has ended up in WWE in the form of the most exciting luchador that's just arrived on the scene, of course, Penta. Not including, of course, Chad Gable's new character. But, yeah, is that his brother coming to WWE? We've seen a lot of rumors about it, and it kind of looked like him in that clip, right? I mean, it was a wrestler jumping around and being on the top rope and then blurry. Let me know if you think it's the same, guys. Was that a promo video for Penta's arrival in WWE? Back on the scene now, though, with what's going on within the venue itself on air on SmackDown is Nakamura's cool new entrance. Again, still such a shame that he's lost the title so quickly. I thought he was going to take some time off or something, but no, he's there in Barcelona, so clearly not. Why'd they take the title off him? And therefore, why'd they give it to him? And now I'm getting angry thinking about how annoyed I was at the thought of them wasting another good Nakamura run. And they've seemingly done it again. Because I kept saying, look, I don't want him to win a US title again and it be nothing new. And I thought, you know what? When he did it with his new character, it will be new. Maybe it does mean something more. Maybe this will be a stepping stone to something else and be more meaningful. But he's lost the title already. I kept saying, look, I want him to win a title, but I want him to win a world title. He should have beat Seth Rollins for the world heavyweight a few years ago. But great presentation. Great way to reinvent himself. Really enjoying Nakamura again. So I just want more for him. I just want more for him. Right. I'm going to see if I can get any word on that promo package, guys. Because, again, it looked like they were promoting someone new, right? And all the rumors lately about Ray Phoenix. It must be. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. So I'm gonna bring this shit up in a moment, guys. See if I can get an image for you guys. Just to show you exactly what we saw on the screen just a little while ago now. In the meantime, though, we've got Damian Priest and Nakamura in the ring. Just kicked off. Fans are again on fire tonight. Nakamura taking control early in this match against Damian Priest. Damian Priest now in control. Again, here's the clip we saw just a moment ago of someone, a kind of mysterious figure on a top rope. Certainly looks like a luchador to me. There's another shot of it here as well. Moving graphic over the top of it. It really does, to me, suggest that Rey Fenix is coming to WWE much sooner than I think a lot of us expected. But yeah, really excited for that. And what's it going to mean for Penta? I did say a few weeks back, actually, on the Elimination Chamber content that we did, that I did feel like Rey Fenix could have been the thing that Chad Gable was looking for and found, and it could still be the case. He could play into that storyline once again, because Gable frustrated with losing to Penta on his debut. So, yeah, will we see the Lucha Brothers reunite, or will the Lucha Brothers be going against each other? Time will tell. Bring it back to SmackDown, though. We've got Nakamura taking advantage now of Damian Priest. Got him up on the top rope, runs at him with the knee. And a second rope dive, knee into the chest of the former World Heavyweight Champion, who kicks out at 2. Just checking in with Lucas to kind of get, again, a bit more of a sense of what's going on behind the scenes. We've got about 30 seconds to go before SmackDown comes back on the air. It's been, again, showing one of those continuations of the live feed during the match. Okay, so Lucas says they're playing games during the breaks. Not this break, of course, but the breaks where there's no match on as well. And we see that promo footage of the wrestlers. They're playing games, which is why they were playing the DX theme song. You saw the fans in Barcelona hitting the old crotch shop. Again, great to get that inside information from what's going on within the venue itself. Bit of an idea as to the live experience there as well. Which, by the way, if you haven't already, myself and Rob did a video a little while back on this channel talking about a WWE live event, or house show as they used to be known, that we went to at Wembley Arena, and just kind of let you know what the modern experience is really for WWE shows as far as these live events go. As I say, they are very different to tapings for Raw and SmackDown. They're both, versions of a show, can be fun. But house shows are a different kind of fun. Again, the wrestlers are a little bit more loose and they test things out on the road, So if you haven't already been to a house show, I do recommend it, or a WWE live event, untelevised show. I do recommend it. And if you want to know a little bit more about our thoughts on that, again, that video is on this very channel. A big shout out and thank you to WWE for inviting us along to that. Now in the ring, Damian Priest is taking advantage of Shinsuke Nakamura. A lot of Olay chants from the fans, making their voice heard, that's for sure. Nakamura now being pretty much decimated by the feet and hands of Mr. Damian Priest. Whoa, a lovely dive into the corner there from Damian Priest with a flying elbow. And a very nice Falcon Arrow. But Nakamura rolls out the ring as good heels do. Whoa. Throw Nakamura onto the announce table there. A lot outside the ring action here tonight. Nakamura now going old school. What's the top rope and into the crossbody. Definitely looks like momentum is in the hands of Mr. Priest. Signaling now for the end, pretty much. Nakamura, though, you'd imagine going to duck. Yes, he does. Takes control himself, rolls him over, and into the armbar. Oh, no, but Priest is trying to prevent it. Nakamura pulls the arm back. Priest. You know what? I've got a feeling Drew's going to show up here. Because they played the whole, oh, he's not here, he's already left. Surely that's a swerve, right? Oh, lovely kick from Nakamura. Priest, I should say. Nakamura went for 1-2 and missed. Big clothesline from Priest, who pulls his straps down, ready. Surely this time for the end, but the crowd's getting louder because I think they've seen something that we can't on screen yet, which is surely Drew McIntyre. Yep. He's sitting on the announce table. The fans are happy to see him, but Damian Priest isn't. Nakamura rolls him up and gets the, just the 2. Nakamura managed to hit a kick there, though, after missing one. Nakamura setting him up for the... Nope. Oh, South of Heaven chokeslam from Priest. But Drew's in the ring after being serenaded by the fans with the old Drew McIntyre song. Got to remember, he's a naughty man, though, isn't he? A mixture of boos and cheers. Half in acknowledgement of his heel role and half in appreciation, I think, of the work he's done over the past few years. The fans want Drew, like they're singing for him, and comes to the eye though, he's a dirty player. Ooh, Kinshasa, there it is. Back of the head. Drew's just looking at Nakamura as if to say, Nakamura's looking at him. Drew gives him a little look with his eyebrows raised, and Nakamura's making his way out the ring now. Okay. Now fans are chanting for Punk. Obviously, the link between Drew over the year, past year or so, it's not going to happen, I don't think. if it was a live event, I think this is where Punk would come out. But I think if he came out now, it'd be a bit confusing for the storyline ahead. Punk's got something going on, of course, with Seth and Roman, it seems, going into WrestleMania. Drew's really doing a number on Priest on the outside now, throwing him multiple times into the barriers. Fans chant for tables, but Drew's giving him the next best thing, it seems. They've got the steel steps. Raising above his head as the fans cheer. Oh! Into the face of Damian Priest. The fans still chanting for him. Well, some of them loving him. He's getting a great reception, especially for a heel. I mean, this is a great crowd, as I've been saying. Actually, I just realized that camera angle there, we might be able to see Lucas. Now that I know exactly where he's sitting, I'm going to keep an eye out for that, guys. He's going to go back, isn't he? Thing is, we've already seen this same spot. This is the thing. It's a dangerous move when you do the same thing. We just saw this with Jacob Fatu. Doesn't it devalue that a little bit? Oh, Claymore. Big cheers for Drew, which not a good sign for Damien, is it? Cool little close up promo work, if you will, shouting as the camera can hear him. He said, look, you've made my life a living hell for the past year, taking advantage of every kind of negative thing that happened to me, and I'm going to make your life a living hell going forward. Stomps on his head. Well. Now, this feud's got a little bit more about it now, I feel. Starts to make a little bit more sense. DIY now being interviewed backstage. So DIY is basically saying that the reason SmackDown's tag division is so good is because they're at the top. Wow, okay. So Gargano says it's not we want the smoke, it's more like we want the choke when they get to tag title matches for the Street Profits. Oh, the machine guns are now interrupting. Who, by the way, got a great reception, as we showed you earlier on before the show. So, yeah, the machine guns basically say, go on, you go after Street Profits, but after that, we're here for you because we've got unfinished business as well. And it does seem like it's going to go to, hopefully, a 4-team match at WrestleMania, which I think is the kind of thing that we've missed on some WrestleMania cards recently. So I'm looking forward to that if that is the case. But yeah, pretty deadly. Maybe walking into it with titles around their waist, as Lucas referred to earlier on, because WWE are about to come to London, of course, on Raw and SmackDown in the coming weeks, and we'll be covering all of these European shows in great detail. Again, we've had the privilege in the past of attending these WWE shows and interviewing the likes of Pretty Deadly. So if you haven't already, check that one out as well on this very channel. We had the great privilege of speaking to those boys, yes boy, when they were here for Money in the Bank just a few years back. Also on this channel, we don't just do watch-alongs of current shows, we do them of classic PLEs as well. So if you fancy watching SummerSlam 2003, for example, anytime soon, hey, then there is an opportunity to watch along with myself and Rob on that one. If you are more in the mood for, I don't know, Survivor Series 2002, if you want to throw it back to the first ever Elimination Chamber, well, you can watch our review and watch along of that show as well. Now, at the moment, speaking of Yes Boy, Pretty Deadly, they're on the screen as far as Netflix goes when we see these superstar slow-mo shots. Again, it's a break now on SmackDown, and this time round they are showing these, again, highlight videos. Stay tuned, though, guys, because, again, after this show, we're going to hit you with an instant reaction review to SmackDown and everything that's gone on here tonight. It's a great opportunity for us here at the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel to do watch-alongs for Raws and SmackDowns over the next few weeks, as I say, because it's on at a reasonable time for us here in the UK. It is 20 to 9 in the evening, and this sort of time of the show, it's what? Getting up to 2 or 3 in the morning. So, yeah, for me, I'm feeling pretty good about this. Speaking of European shows, I should say, again, a huge PLE announced a few months back. Clash in Paris. We're looking to cover that in depth as we do for all PLEs as well. And when we do, as you'll know, if you've been here for a while, we hit you with a build-up show on the night of a PLE. And we'll be doing that for WrestleMania, which is a few weeks away from WrestleMania now. Both night 1 and night 2 will have a long and extensive build-up show with some of our great friends from the wrestling media world joining us as well to give their expert analysis. And again, more members of the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling team for you as well. Now, we're about 30 seconds away from what's going on, from SmackDown returning to our screens. I've just got a message, though, from Lucas. A little bit of insider gossip now, guys. From those in the arena, at least. He's told me that extra padding has been added to the ring. Okay, just replying to the man. Extra padding. Why? What are they going to do? There must be a big spot coming up, right? What else have we got coming tonight? Oh, it's not just a tag match, is it? We've got Carmelo Hayes versus Randy Orton coming up as well. Now, it looks like the tag match is what's coming up next. So, okay, let's have a look. We're back on air. Wow. I mean, Yamal. Wow. Barcelona's Wonder Kid is in the house. Oh, yeah, good point. Wade Barrett just mentioned how he was the star for Spain in the Euros against England in the final, which still hurts. Wow, pretty cool. Here we go. Kathy Kelly now with Chelsea Green's squad. Of course, Alba Fire recently. Secret Service agent Chelsea Green's Piper Niven and Alba Fire. I'm liking this stuff with Chelsea Green, and it was great with Piper already, but it's really cool now seeing Alba get a way to be used as well. Of course, she just saw a tag team partner and former tag team champion Isla Dawn be released. And I would have, if you said to me, where do you want Alba Fire being used at the moment, I would have preferred it to be in that team. I prefer Isla Dawn to still be in the company. At the same time, it's still good that Alba Fire is being used, right? Oh, Zelina's going after the women's US title, it seems, because she's just butted in. She'd have butted in. Piper Evans says, hold up, have an error. Oh. Wow. Zelina Vega saying she's going to come after the title next week. But first of all, first thing she's going to do is have to get through Piper Niven next week. Here we go. Randy Orton's making his way to the ring, and as expected, the fans are in full chorus. Here we go. Rock again. Goosebumps. Oh, man, it's so cool. As Lucas spoke about on these preview clips as well, like the fans are just so appreciative of Randy Orton at the moment. And he's playing up to it, man. Even playing up to the lyrics themselves. What a great moment, man. These fans are having a great time. And he was the little girl. She didn't look like she was in the best mood, did she? So Randy's a little laugh there. All right. So why, as Lucas said, have they added extra padding to the ring? Very strange. Something's gonna happen, guys. Something's gonna happen. But what? I don't see. Oh, okay. Now we're seeing a clip of Kevin Owens taking out Randy Orton. Of course, this is the match we're leading towards between them at WrestleMania, surely. So maybe Owens is going to come out and do something crazy. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I feel like maybe we are going to get Kevin Owens showing up and doing something kind of extreme here. See the clip there of the punt nearly being used by Randy Orton. He's stopped by security. I love that. I love that we're now waiting for that move to be hit, right? Whether it's on the lead up into WrestleMania itself or it happens at the show. Yeah. I mean, it could simply, let's be honest, it could be simply they've noticed that the padding was damaged or I don't know. Something like that, maybe. Or maybe it's not extra padding, it's a replacement of padding. But it does suggest, if it is extra, that something big's going to happen. We're going to see a big spot in this match. Or even in the tag match still. Which at this stage looks like it's going to be main eventing. But at the moment, we are watching Randy Orton's entrance as he prepares to face Carmelo Hayes on this SmackDown coming from Barcelona, Spain. And while I'm here in merry old England, I'm pleased to say we do have Lucas out there in Barcelona, keeping us up to date with all the news within the venue itself. Now here comes Carmelo Hayes. Still don't know what they're doing with this guy. I mean, what a great position to be in. Going up against Randy. Oh, he's giving evils to the same little kid that Randy did it to. As a good true heel should. Slight booze there for Mello. He's a heel, but not one of the bigger reactions we've seen tonight. Always going to be tough when you come up against the master of the RKO, of course, in his kind of final years in the business. It seems when he's getting so much love. It's unbelievable. I mean, well deserved. Don't get me wrong, but it's a special time in Randy Orton's career. So where are we going with this one? The RKO chance. It'd be mad if he just hit me with the RKO straight away, wouldn't it? Now Melly wants oh, he pretended he was going to go for the handshake with the old one of the oldest tricks in the book. Oof. Never started though. Melo's pushed Randy. Randy's not having any of it. Hits him with an uppercut or a forearm smasher to stay. And now, talking to smash, his head goes right into the turnbuckle there. And as they count in Spanish again, it reminds me I need to hit my Duolingo up at the end of this show. But not before hitting you guys with an instant reaction review again. If you're watching live, stay tuned for that. And those on demand, you'll find it on this very channel, the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, that is, of course. But big thank you to everyone joining us live on that channel and also on the Rebellious Noise Twitch as well. As we head to the break on Netflix. And what we're getting this time is a continuation on a match in the live feed, or we're going to get superstar promo shots? No, we're back. All right. So again, for those that may be watching outside of Netflix, what we're seeing at the moment is Randy Orton picking up the top of the table. It's basically snapped a little, and he's put it back and said, "Sorry about that, guys." Commentator saying it's fine, but then Randy Orton's done it again, and it's falling off again as he hits Carmelo with a back body drop, spinning one at least onto the announce table. Now Randy was snuck into the ring and snuck back out essentially to break the count. Randy Orton chant now from the fans in Barcelona. And again, if you haven't already, make sure you check out our bonus content surrounding this event on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling social media channels. You can see our handle there for Blue Sky, X, and TikTok, and also, of course, Instagram as well. At RM Pro Wrestling is where you'll find us. And you'll also see on this very channel some more features surrounding this show as well. Now, we're going to hopefully bring you some more action from Lucas throughout the night, but also you're going to see some more behind the scenes shots of his trip out there in Barcelona coming as well. That chant is one you hear in football. The tune is the old "You're just a effing someone," or the "sacked in the morning" type chant. What is this? What are they saying? Can't hear. It's also the "You've only come to see the Arsenal" chant. Same tune. FU Mellow chant now. So I'm chatting to Lucas a little bit in the background as well. I've said to him, maybe it is a Kevin Owens thing. This extra padding, maybe it will be a big stunt. And he says, well, he assumes as well, but thinks that maybe this match would have been main event if that was the case. Back from the break, though. Carmelo's taken control. There's a "Come on, Randy" chant now from the fans. It's a great name, that, isn't it? Mello don't Miz as far as their team. Carmelo Hayes and the Miz. I still can't make out what the fans are chanting. I'm just thinking of all the other football chants that use the same one, like "Big F" in German. For Mertesacker, for example. What are they singing? Again, though, you are currently watching the SmackDown watch-along here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. And after this, we're going to hit you with the instant reaction review. But thank you to everyone that's joined us, whether live or on demand. At the moment in the ring is Randy Orton taking now a bit of control over the match as he hits Carmelo with a clothesline. And vintage Orton, as Michael Cole will probably say, as he hits him with the spinning slam. What's that one called? Why have I forgot what that move's called? There we go. Whatever. You know what I mean, all right? This is vintage Orton DDT from the second row. Come up. No. Carmelo gets out of it. To the fans' disappointment. A lot of counters here. Oh! Wow. Carmelo springboarded off the rope. There is power slam. So he did the power slam earlier. Now catches him mid-flight, spins him around, hits him. It was so close, though. It was, I mean, talk about a snap power slam. This snap nearly snapped Melo's head. And it was apologies there, guys. Looks like we had a bit of a signal issue, but we look to be doing a little bit better now. Apologies for that. Thanks for staying tuned. RKO chant from the fans as he goes to set up, pounds the mat, but no, Carmelo slides out the ring once again to disappoint those in Barcelona. Carmelo's taking control, going up to the top rope. Randy moves, surely RKO time. No. Kick to the knee. Randy's down. Wow. Springboard off the rope into a DDT from Carmelo. Oh, I thought he was going to do it there. I mean, I'm pretty sure Randy Orton was going to win this match, but wow. Carmelo signaling for the end as he starts to climb to the top rope and ask Orton to get to his feet. Orton does and hits him with a right. Carmelo trying to fight back. Looks like we're going to get a big spot from the top rope. Randy Orton taking control of the punches. Now setting up for a suplex off the top rope. Hey. Now, was that the move to add the extra padding for? Don't know. I mean, maybe for someone who you need to protect like Randy Orton, who's getting up there in age. No offense, but you know, it's a good thing if they're taking extra precaution for people like that. You want to keep fit and healthy for as long as possible. But he's now signaling for the RKO once again. Carmelo's to his feet. Counters it. Oh. Tried to get first 48. Toss away again. A few more. Oh, and he hits it. But Randy's on his feet. And no! It's the RKO. Gets the free count. Great shot there, because you've got Randy being here, acting like jelly on his feet, snapping too quickly, hitting the RKO, and Lamine Yamal filming in delight as Randy Orton gets the pin. That is a clip that WWE will want to use for some time. Some great production there. Randy's not done though. He's picked up Carmelo. Okay, he's trying to, now he's off in his hand. Oh, no, Carmelo's pushed him again. Oh, and another RKO this time. Pretty much spikes him on his head. Nah, you pushed it. You pushed it. The old Randy came out there. Is he going to do the punt? Maybe the punt's going to be on Carmelo. Wow. I thought they were going to hold out to hit on Kevin. Maybe the story is just going to be about hitting it on Kevin. No, Carmelo's going to move. It's going to be another thing to stop this. Yeah, he's out. Oh, Kevin's pulled him out. Oh, here we go. Fighting on the outside. Oh, Orton into the post. Kevin has dived into the audience, so he's running away. Looks like he's limping there, Kevin. Getting highlights from the opener earlier on. If you remember, it was the 6-man tag match. Chaos. We saw Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. Again, not sure if this is going to lead to maybe a match for the two with the two of them at WrestleMania, or if this is simply pushing this kind of 6-man tag into a bit of a feud, maybe. Getting a bit more information here, though, because we've got the Bloodline backstage. Next week. Okay, so next week we're going to get Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Now we're getting an entrance for Gunther. The World Heavyweight Champion is in the house. He's in good shape, Gunther, isn't he? He heads into what possibly will be a main event match at WrestleMania. Still unsure how they're going to book this one. We still don't know what the full card is, of course, and we also still don't really know if any matches feel like they might kind of pip it to that position, just simply because a certain feud dictates it. So it'd be interesting to see how the WWE do approach the World Heavyweight Championship when we get to WrestleMania. And again, as we get a little bit closer to WrestleMania, we'll start to get a bit of an idea as to where we might be going with that as well. Now, at the moment, we are currently watching footage of the superstars once again. So that means it's time for me, once again, myself, to hand over to a clip from inside the venue. Here is our latest action from Lucas in Barcelona. Coming up back and forth between Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes there. Lovely DDT, wasn't it? Off the springboard there. 1, 2. I love that you've got Lucas chanting 1, 2 as everyone else around's going 1, 2. Lucas clearly ain't in the mood to try and fit in, I guess. But great again to get a little bit of a inside view of the venue, really. You know, see what's going on in you know, from the fans' perspective, not just from the TV perspective as well. So again, big shout out to Lucas. Now, you are watching the watch along experience here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We're going to be back as much as we can over this European leg of shows, Raws, SmackDowns coming your way at a reasonable time if you live in the European countries like I do. And yeah, for that reason, we're going to hit you with some more watch along experiences throughout the next few weeks on the road to WrestleMania. Now we're about 30 seconds away from the stream coming back to us. Again, love to know your thoughts on what's happened on SmackDown so far. Have you enjoyed the show? I think it's been a good one. We are 2 hours and 5 minutes into it now. It is frustrating, though, that the shows are, in my opinion, 3 hours now. I think it has the danger to go a little overboard, essentially, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. I can't lie. Right, now what are we getting? Okay, footsteps and smoky screen. 4. What's this? What was that? What was that? Another strange vignette. Now, earlier on, we saw the one that looks like it could be Rey Fenix. But that, what was that? What was the flash? Am I missing something? What is going on? Interesting. Let's see what the general consensus is online. Let's see if anyone's talking about it yet. I haven't really seen much, but we'll keep you posted. Oh, some people speculating it could be an Aleister Black vignette or the Fantastic Four coming to WWE. At the moment, though, we've got good for typical heel says, "I wish we were in Madrid instead." Oh, and hits him with a Hala Madrid. The Barcelona fans not going to be happy with that one. Classic. Okay. So now attention is turned, of course, to Jey Uso. Is he going to be there tonight? Oh, hey kid, says Gunther. Wow, he is going to show up on the Spanish wrestler, of course. Gunther says, rumor is he's one of the most talented in the back at the moment. Here is your national hero. Oh no, it's Axiom. That was a bit of a strange swerve. Seen as, huh? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, mate, I've messed this whole thing up, haven't I? It is Axiom, yeah. Kid is Axiom, yeah. I've completely messed that up. Ignore that, guys. I'll see you grow up. That's lovely. Here we go. Great moment for Axiom here. I think it's going to be a cool match, actually. Two European wrestlers. Fans obviously cheering for the native Spaniard. So, guys, I'm still trying to look in the background. So I'm slightly distracted, trying to look in the background about what that promo might have meant about Aleister Black, or potentially Aleister Black now, potentially Rey Fenix as well. Oh, Axiom supports Barcelona, says Wade Barrett. All right. I'm learning a lot about Axiom here. I didn't know he trained under Zinedine Zidane. What, at Madrid, did he say? It's like a Champions League fixture because Gunther's a massive Bayern Munich fan, says Barrett. Oh, Gunther got caught on the top rope there. Ooh, taken out with a big chop. Audio's gone. Okay, because we are back to the break. So yeah, we'll let you know what's carrying on. Again, if you're not watching on Netflix at the moment, we're continuing the match between Gunther and Axiom. Axiom is now leaning against the ropes because Gunther is in control. Oh, lovely lovely scoop slam there from Gunther. Gunther's taking control. Bags him straight back up, hits him with a few chops and punches. About 2.5 minutes from WWE's show coming back live. If you're not watching on Netflix, then you may not be seeing the match continue at the moment. But at the moment, Gunther is kind of taking advantage of Axiom here with some embarrassing kicks. Axiom's fighting back though, fired up. Oh, kick to the chest. Another kick to the chest. Goes for a third, stopped by Gunther, thrown to the ground, and then quickly taken into a Boston Crab. A lovely little sequence there from Gunther. So the whole Axiom thing reminded me of, do you remember when at NXT UK, because Aleister Black, when Aleister Black came out, but they brought him out as Tommy End. They still gave him his old name. They haven't done it here for Axiom. But that was when Aleister just signed. And I think he was known he was going to be Aleister Black, but he still came out as Tommy End. Yeah, I mean, when he comes back, I mean, if he comes back, but surely it's happening to WWE. What name would he choose then? Would it be Aleister Black? Or would it be Malachi Black? I'll be honest, I think he hasn't done enough as Malachi to justify being like that was bigger than his time as Aleister. So only at a time like that would WWE move away, I think, from the name they gave someone. I think Matt Cardona is a possibility. He could come back as Zack Ryder, but I think being Matt Cardona in WWE would make sense as well. So much so that myself and Rod have done a video on that very topic. Would he come back as a mixture of his two characters? You can have a look at that video on this very channel to find out our thoughts on a kind of merging between the two sides of Mr. Zack Cardona, if you will. Now, Netflix is about to cycle back into the main portion of SmackDown, as Axiom is on the side of the ring, and the typical spot there of a heel trying to take off his mask as we head back onto the live portion of SmackDown on the main feed. Axiom's prevented it. Oh, drop kick from the top rope. You think Axiom's got to take advantage here? I mean, he can't beat him. There's just no way. The whole thing for Axiom here is to get the big pop in his hometown, home country at least. Oh, it is his hometown. I think it's from Barcelona as well, isn't they? No, he's from Madrid. He's from Madrid. Oh, did he say he's a Barcelona fan? Is that what they were saying earlier? Reverse the powerbomb, few chops there. Axiom flies in, gets stopped by Gunther, picks him up with ease. Ooh, Axiom trying to fight out of it. Knees to the head, rolls him over into a pin. 1, 2. Ooh, kick out. Ooh, a knee to the face. This is great timing for Axiom because he's been doing so well in his team with Nathan Frazier. Oh, and he kicks out. Huge reaction from the fans there. Oh, wow. He kicked out of that powerbomb. There we go. Oh, okay. The Axiom was going to try for the Spanish fly, but gets thrown off. Flies up with a kick instead. Trying to go again. Hurricane running. Oh, no. Stopped. Oh, powerbomb from the top rope, surely. Oh, beautiful Hurricane Runner. Axiom can't do it. No, he's not going to do it. 1, 2. Oh, he's not. Kick out from Gunther. You know what? He could do it if Jey Uso helped him. I think it'd be great for Axiom, and it wouldn't make Gunther look as bad, and it would put a lot on his feud with Jey Uso. So if Jey Uso showed up here, I could see a scenario where Axiom wins, gets the big pop, yeets with Jey, and Gunther's furious. But have they booked Jey Uso for SmackDown? I don't know. Kick to the chest. Axiom still in control, but surely Gunther now. Axiom gets him down to the ground. Ooh. He's looking for a submission. Oh. Ah, powerbomb. That sounded hard. Wow, what a clothesline. Another powerbomb. Yeesh, that's it. It's over. Well, what a match. What a match. The kind of thing that you like to see on the PLE. That was cool. A shame for Axiom to not get the win, but I think it makes sense, you know. As Barrett says, maybe no right whatsoever to even put in that kind of performance. I mean, clearly a great talent, but in storyline, he shouldn't be beating Gunther on the road to WrestleMania. But I mentioned Jey Uso, we might get him now because Gunther has got Axiom in a sleeper. The yeets are getting louder from the crowd. You can see the hands going. Will we get it? No, he's let go. Maybe we don't get the yeet man. No, we don't. Oh, what a shame. Well. Boos for the World Heavyweight Champ. Oh, gosh. And there's the graphic to advertise the title match at WrestleMania. But no Jey Uso tonight. Great match, though. Great to see Gunther on SmackDown. Great to see Axiom get that opportunity. Now we're getting highlights from last Monday's Raw. Of course, Roman Reigns returning, and that shot there of Paul Heyman consoling CM Punk, and Roman looking a little confused about that, and then taking out Punk. Interesting. Oh, Paul Heyman's on next. Okay. All right. Now, we still haven't seen why we got that extra padding. If you've just joined us live, you may have not heard, but Lucas from the Rebellious Noise crew is in attendance in the Barcelona, and he said that they've stuck extra padding under the ring a few matches ago now, and we expected to see it play a factor in the Orton Carmelo match, and it hasn't. But again, maybe it's just simply kind of refurbishing, essentially. Hope you've enjoyed SmackDown so far, guys. We're not done yet, but as soon as this show is over, I'm going to give you my full review of the event. Again, you've been watching our watch along, but later on, we're going to hit you with an instant reaction review as well. And if you're not watching live, you are watching on demand, and you can find it on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling YouTube channel's archive. Now we're about 2.5 minutes away from going back live, and again, we're going to get a appearance from Paul Heyman, who you would imagine is going to get a fantastic reception from the crowd, and be interesting to see what he says. You know, it's going to be something to tide us over, it seems, until Monday Night Raw. I'd imagine CM Punk isn't there. I'd imagine Seth Rollins isn't there, and I'd imagine Roman Reigns isn't there. But still, even with those big stars missing, I think they've got a great show tonight. Again, we'll dive into this further on the instant reaction review at the end of the stream. And again, if you're watching live, stay tuned. It'll be within this video itself. Now, one of the biggest stories in wrestling at the moment, but maybe of all time, is the John Cena heel turn. If you want to know my thoughts on that, then check out that video on this channel that you can see on your screens at the moment. It's the instant reaction review to Elimination Chamber. Same sort of thing as what we're going to be doing here tonight for SmackDown. That's what we tend to do again on PLEs, but it's a special occasion, right? Getting the European SmackDown live on TV at a reasonable time for me here in the UK. It's a good opportunity for us to hit you with some bonus content here on the channel as well. About a minute away from going back live. Earlier on, we saw Zelina Vega trying to claw her way into a US title match. And we've had the great opportunity to chat to Zelina on this channel as well. Talked about her love for Cyberpunk, joining Andrade, and her early days in wrestling as Rosita in TNA. Also had great opportunities to chat to the likes of Bayley, and had great conversations in the past with Liv Morgan and even Big E. So if you haven't already, subscribe, guys, because you're going to get some more content coming for you on this very channel like that in the future as well. But you are watching the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. My name is Scott, and I thank you for joining us. We are 10 seconds away from SmackDown being live again. Don't forget, guys, we're going to hit you with the instant reaction review as soon as it's over. But here we go. SmackDown's back on the air with another Raw recap. A little bit more in depth now to kind of show, I guess, why Paul Heyman's coming out. Right, now, while that promo is playing, let's have another little look online. I was a little distracted earlier on when I was doing it. I was distracted by doing this in that last match, but because I wanted to see what the general consensus was about Aleister Black. Now, people do think it is Aleister Black. That's the gist I'm getting. But for two people to be hinted on the same show, I don't know. Maybe it's referring to that original promo we saw earlier on, that other kind of, suspicious video package that we saw that at first seemed like it was more to do with Rey Fenix, but maybe it's not. I mean, I'd say the first one, if they're not linked, if they are linked, it's not Aleister Black. The first one was not Aleister Black on the top rope. I don't think it was anyway. Let's see if we can get a graphic up for you here, guys, to show you what we were talking about. If you missed it earlier on, or if you want to have another little look yourself, this is the main thing that showed up at the end of that short vignette, actually. It was a smoky screen, and then all of a sudden, a 4 appeared. Now, how does that relate to Aleister Black? I'm not sure. But I really, really hope it does, because I really want to see him back. And I really want to see him back with his old theme song. The one he used in NXT when he first got called up to the main roster. That's what I want to see Aleister Black use. And that, as a return, would be great. Just the pop when that music hits. Oh, my goodness. Would be great. Now, when he left WWE, it seemed like AEW was going to be another opportunity for him to maybe step to that next level, because he'd kind of fallen off a little bit in WWE at times. And it didn't work out that way. There's some good stuff in AEW, don't get me wrong, but now, ironically, I'm excited to see him back where he was. So, yeah, we'll have to see if it is Aleister Black. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing him if it is true. Now we're back in the ring. It's time for Heyman. So a little diss to Seth Rollins. So today's Roman Reigns Day. Why is that? Oh, okay. WWE 2K25 is out. All right. So this segment's an ad. Heyman says, everyone's going to play the game. We like to keep the ratings high during my segments, especially, so don't play the game now. Play it after SmackDown. Fair enough. Okay, now he's saying his friend CM Punk has a problem with Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns Day and Roman Reigns being on the cover of the game. Okay. Heyman said it's not CM Punk Day. It's not, and it's not Seth Rollins Day either. He's really against Seth. Now the fans are singing Seth's theme song. Heyman says he hates that song. Where's this going? Is it just going to be a promo about the game? And a loose promo about the WrestleMania match? Oh, booze. Booze because Heyman's saying that he's going to be in Bologna rather than here tonight. Heyman said, don't boo. Buy a cheapo airlines plane ticket to Bologna. So next week on SmackDown, eh? Be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing next week's show. I mean, it will have a similar vibe because it's another excited European crowd, you'd imagine. A TV show from Europe is always going to be exciting. But getting them in a row, it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of holds up. I think it is going to be a hot streak of hot crowds, if I'm honest. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what those fans are like out in Italy. Oh, some Italian coming out now as well. All right. You're really hyping up Italy there. I'm getting the reports live from Lucas that the fans are starting to get a little tired. That's the sense he's getting. So the crowd seem a little worn out. Again, this is the thing with 3 hour shows. I don't think Raw or SmackDown needs to be 3 hours. And we talk so much these days about the PLE cards being 5 or 4 matches and it being 3 matches, 3 hours. So how can a Raw and SmackDown be the same? I mean, it spaces it out. The matches are different pacing. They've got promos a lot more and featured as well. But here come the Street Profits. Time for the tag team title match. Oh, but they have been stopped by Escobar and Los Garzas. Wow, now Legado del Fantasma are saying they're in the kind of mix for the tag titles as well. I mean, they've been in and around this feud as well, but they can't have all of them, right? So it'd be DIY, Street Profits, Los Garza, Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly. There's 5 teams. Maybe we'll get a 5-team match. I still don't know what's going on with Street Profits. Like their presentation, it's different. They've had such a weird past 2 years of babyface, heel, babyface, heel. Like I don't know. Like they're acting like babyfaces here, but in recent weeks they've felt like heels, and they've changed up the presentation a little. So let's see. Maybe I have to do that because they're going up against DIY, who are certainly heels. I am surprised they've not won as many tag titles. Well, there we go. Just heard Joe say January 2021, the last time they had the tag titles. It's crazy. Because especially when I'd say 2022, 2023, they had some really kind of hot streaks essentially where it felt like they were going to do something or even split. Advert here for WrestleMania. Or is this for Backlash, actually? No, it's for Backlash. Yeah, Backlash. We mentioned it earlier on in the stream, but it's been announced for St. Louis, May the 10th. And as always, we'll try and hit you with as much PLE content as we can, including the build-up show and hopefully an instant reaction as well. Speaking of which, we're going to hit you with an instant reaction after this show. We're about 2 minutes away from what is surely going to be the last segment of SmackDown, certainly the last match, which of course is DIY putting their tag titles on the line against the Street Profits. We've all seen the Street Profits make their way to the ring. DIY are next. At the moment on screen, it's just, again, the highlight superstar footage, whatever you want to call it. We aren't getting any continued action or anything like that. Just got a message from Lucas saying, why are the Street Profits babyface? I'm glad I'm not the only one. See, this is the thing. I'm saying it here from afar, watching it on TV. He's saying it in the venue. He's getting that experience. And I'm sure it's not just because they're getting a positive reaction like a lot of the heels have got tonight. They are acting as baby faces. And like I say, it's good to hear that people in the venue are getting a sense of that as well. Because we see it on the camera and we hear things and we see up-close shots. They would have seen that promo package backstage, of course. But, yeah, interesting to see. I'm not the only one that thinks it's a bit odd to see the Street Profits act like baby faces. About a minute away now from Netflix tuning back into the live portion of SmackDown. Once again, thank you to everyone that's joined us, whether live or on demand. We appreciate you. And we hope you subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be back, as I say, as much as we can be, really, in the coming weeks on this Road to WrestleMania tour, covering these European shows in depth with previews, watch-alongs, instant reactions, and maybe some bonus footage and content beyond that as well, especially when it comes to the London shows. By the time we get to London, we'll have seen more from whoever this mystery person is, or more from this one. Who knows? Are they the same person? Who knows? We're about 6 seconds away from the entrance of the tag team champions as we tune back into SmackDown now. Oh, no, first we got Barcelona drone footage. Been a good show. Like I say, I feel it's been fun. It's long now. It is long. It's crazy. Like I'm watching it at a reasonable time and I'm tired. Whereas I'm usually watching these shows at 3, 4 a.m. at this point. Okay, Gunther and Jimmy now backstage. Gunther playing into Jimmy now. His ego. I like what they're doing with Gunther here. It's quite interesting. Wow. That's a cool line. Jimmy says at WrestleMania, the ring general drops rank and drops the title too. So Gunther basically, tried to get in the ear of Jimmy there, play up to him, saying, "Look, you're the mature brother, and have a word with Jimmy, have a word with Jay, even because I'm gonna have to treat him the same way as him there. You know, he put it all on the line, but he got destroyed like that, and I left him out there like a wet towel, and I'll have to do the same to your brother. So keep him away." So again, I think it's an interesting way they've revitalized this feud. I do think it needs to end with Jay winning. But in order to make it worth another feud. But I'm liking the changing it so far to lead to it. Good for being annoyed into having a face in, basically. But you could argue, does it make him look weak? And he's not a character that's ever needed to look weak. Now, word in the venue at the moment from Lucas is that there's no reaction for DIY. I got to be honest, I've just said it back to him. I think he's a little bit of a hater when it comes to DIY. I think he's probably glad to be reporting that, but I don't doubt it. I mean, I can see it from at the moment. The crowd look tired. Let's be honest. I'm not sure if this was the right decision to put this on last, unless there's a title change. In which case, yes, the tag titles going on last in a match. Well, that in a show should make sense if there's a title change as well. But when you have these 3-hour shows, if there's nothing big happening at the end of this, it's going to be a bit of a confusing positioning. Now they're getting chants. DIY chant. Bit of a murmur. But again, I don't think it's because, as I think Lucas wants to report, that people just don't care about them. I think, look, there's more they could do, I think, presentation-wise, maybe. But I think for me, it's a presentation of this show. This is a long, long night. I think if this match was on first, it'd have a different reception. But it's not on first. Ooh. Big right hand there from Angelo Dawkins on Johnny Gargano. Slid back in the ring, though, only to get a few nasty kicks from Ciampa. So I didn't see that, but apparently Wade Barrett saying Angelo Dawkins ended up in the the Atletico Madrid end of the Real Madrid Atletico Madrid game, wearing his Real Madrid shirt, which was not a wise decision. Lovely move from the top rope there from Montez, as always, flying through the sky with such grace. And a clothesline to Gargano. Ooh, backstage, pretty deadly. Looks like we're going to another break, but I assume we're going to have one where we get to see the continuation of the match. Yes, we do. So we're back in about 3 minutes' time. So again, if you are watching on demand or live, thank you very much. But those on demand may not be able to watch what we're seeing at the moment if they're not watching on Netflix. So what we're getting at the moment is Ciampa taking advantage of Montez on the outside with a few stomps. Johnny Wrestling chant, though. Few in the Barcelona seem to appreciate the former NXT champion there. So I'm just getting some updates from Lucas as well. Okay, all right. I've got to show you this, guys. I got to show you this. Hold on. This is very strange. Very weird. There's something that we can't see on screen at the moment. So I asked Lucas if he saw the footage of Pretty Deadly. And he said he didn't see that. But what he can see is Minecraft. And I said, what? What do you mean Minecraft? Because we can see it on the side of the ring. We can see it's advertised there. It's, you know, promoting this match. And I've just seen it in the top there. But it's not just there, guys. It's also there. It's on the main screen. It's on the Titantron. No, I guess I don't call it that these days. But what the heck's that about? Why is that up there? Why aren't they showing at least SmackDown, if not the SmackDown logo? There it is. I can see it now. Why are they not showing it? Oh, they have got the SmackDown logo with it. Why are they not showing the match itself or something? I guess it's not a big screen for you to look at. But yeah, and that's where you would have probably seen Pretty Deadly come up, unless there's one at the top as well. I'm not quite sure. All right, we're a minute away from SmackDown coming back live on the main feed. But again, we've continued the live feed here on Netflix. The main kind of presentation on the show comes back in just under 45 seconds. Gargano's taking control, though. Knocks Montez off the top rope as Ciampa looks to take advantage by climbing to the top rope and sticking him on his shoulders. Oh, here we go. Ooh. I forgot what that move's called that Ciampa does, where he gets him on the... I'm trying to look at someone I could hold to. That one. Still like Wreck-It Ralph or something there. Anyway, he did that from the top rope. Montez was laying, you know, his head was down. I think you know what move I mean, right? The one that he did, did he do it off the top of the cage in NXT that time, War Games? Was it done to him? I can't remember now. Through the table. Anyway, we're back live. Oh, so Montez just falling on the floor there as Ciampa starts to try and bring him to his feet again. In a kind of pedigree position there. But Montez is... Oh. Lifting him up. Oh. Throws him over. Get off. Dawkins makes the tag. Montez gets some rest on the outside, but Dawkins, whoa, lovely little jump over Ciampa there. Oh, something flew for the air there. What was that? Was that about a spit or looked like someone's chain? He actually did the Sue. The fans did it as well. I mean, it's a football thing, isn't it? But to do it in Barcelona when Ronaldo played for Madrid is a risky move. But at the same time, there's going to be people there from all over Spain. And look, when they do things like that in London, even though you play for Man United, you get a lot of it too. But then again, Man United fans are from London, aren't they? Now, hey, let's leave that for the Rebellious Noise football channel, which, by the way, we do have, guys. If you're new here to Rebellious Noise, it's not just pro wrestling we cover. We cover food on Rebellious Noise Tastes. Oh, I thought it was going to be a free count. We cover wrestling right here, the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We also cover film and TV on Rebellious Noise Screen 1. The main Rebellious Noise channel has a great archive of content from all these kind of things as well, and also some behind-the-scenes clips from our other channels. Oh, 450, but the knees go up a Ciampa. It was a lovely 450, connected very hard on his knees. So, it's all over. Oh no, broken up by Angelo Dawkins. See, the show Headlines: Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Brawl, and all that kind of stuff. It was great, but it was ages ago. Am I the only one, guys? I don't know. I just think these shows would be so much better if they were 2 hours. Ooh. Pacing wise, you know. High knee there to Gargano. Montez forward. Can he take control? It'd be cool if they did change the titles though. Like, I mean, earlier on we saw the clip of AJ winning the WWE title in London. Oh, Dawkins threw Ciampa into the timekeepers area. Oh, I'm just saying a lot of balls now. It's hard to keep up. And his back kind of split over the barrier, it seemed. Then thrown onto the announce table, comes into the ring with a weird spin. Oh no, Ciampa's back now. Oh, nearly hit the things they got, but no. Oh, I can't even describe this stuff. Super kicks, though. Oh, and a swanton type move over the top rope from Montez forward. He quickly makes his way to the top rope to start what they hoped to do earlier. 1, 2. Oh, stopped by Ciampa. Good match again. One of those that even might be on its way to being PLE quality. But in the back, we can see the team of Pretty Deadly. Are they going to get involved? I mean, they're there. Or are they just going to be there to kind of do a dark match? Whoa. Knee to the face of Montez as he flies over the top rope. Oh, went for the swanton, missed because Gargano moved. Again, it was another one of those where the head's close to the floor on that flip. A bit late, but still looked quite impressive. Oh, fairy tale ending. Is that it? No. Kick out. Angelo Dawkins is still in this, and therefore the Street Profits are still in it. See, if they do win the titles and there's a pop because of the title change, but is it also because they're babyface? I don't know. Again, not sure. What's going on? We might not see it though because DIY look like they're going to take advantage of Dawkins being down. Oh no! Me in the middle went wrong. Super kick to Ciampa by accident. Dawkins takes advantage and Montez climbs to the top rope. Maybe this is going to be it. Are we going to see a title change in Barcelona? What a frog splash. New tag champs. Wow. Cool. Now, that's a cool way to end the show. I didn't expect that. Wow. Huge pop for it. I mean, again, you're in person seeing a title change. It's always fun. But that was a fun match. Cool. All right. Finally got the belts back on the Street Profits. Still confused as to why they've been presented as heels and baby faces. They've switched more than Big Show, it feels, in recent months and years even. But wow. And now we've got the fireworks going off and the show comes to an end. And it's time to wake up, says Montez Fools. That is it. Mate, I'm a bit more awake now. As I said, it was a 3-hour show and I was starting to get a little sleepy, which, I didn't expect, being that it's a reasonable time for us here in the UK. But I guess my mentality is like I'm watching a wrestling show and in my head, it's still 3 or 4 a.m. It's not 3 or 4 a.m., which means it's a lot easier for me to come back and hit you with an instant reaction review in just a moment as well. But just to wrap up, first of all, on the watch along portion of this show, really do hope you've enjoyed this, guys. This has been your watch along experience of SmackDown in Barcelona. It's been fantastic to get Lucas's input out there in Spain itself and the venue itself, really, and give us kind of great content, not only updating us by text and letting us know what the vibe's like and what's going on, but also letting us know well, what the atmosphere is like, and also sending us those videos, I should say. Now, what we're going to do is, again, hand over to the instant reaction portion of the show. If you're watching live on YouTube at the moment, on the watch along experience, stay tuned because this is coming up next, and it is also going to be the case on the Rebellious Noise Twitch. If you're watching on demand, though, you can also find this on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. If you're going to be coming back in the future for it, that's where you'll find it as well. So I've been Scott. This has been the SmackDown watch along, and in a moment I'll be back with the SmackDown instant reaction.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
All right, guys, welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel and the instant reaction to a quite kind of monumental, really, and newsworthy SmackDown event. I mean, I knew it would be a good one. I thought it'd be a fun one, and it was, well, both of those things. Now, I will say, and I said it on the watch-along section tonight as well, it was tiring towards the end. It was a show that I felt started to drag a little, and again, if you were with us on the watch along, you'll know that we've got a reporter out there in Spain as well, in the form of Lucas from this very channel, letting us know what the vibe is like in the arena. Now, he seemed to have had a fantastic night. Hopefully we'll hear from him throughout this stream as well, but he did say that the audience started to dip a little bit towards the end, get a little bit worn out. But thankfully, we got a huge ending to the show because we have brand new tag team champions in the form of the Street Profits. And I've got to say, I'm very pleased about that, purely because I feel like the Street Profits have been kind of, you know, floundering for a bit. They haven't really settled. They've had these ups and downs. They've been babyface, they've been heel. Even tonight, seeing them come out as babyfaces was confusing. Maybe that's what we're getting going forward. Also, you might have seen in Lucas's original preview content from earlier this week as well that Pretty Deadly looked like they might be winning the titles in London. Maybe that's not going to happen after all, because are you really going to have two title changes before WrestleMania? I mean, is this going to be featured on WrestleMania? We saw Los Garza say they're going to come after, or I should say Santos Escobar in representation of them, it would seem, saying they're going to come after the Street Profits if they win the titles. Surely DIY want to get back involved in the mix. You've got the Motor City Machine Guns. So again, it's looking like we've got 5 teams leading towards potentially a match at WrestleMania. And in which case, did they need to change the titles here? And if they did, are they going to do it again in London? But maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to make these European shows kind of just feel must-see, if that makes sense. So, yeah, looking forward to it. What we're going to do in a moment is we're going to throw over to some comments from Lucas. As I say, he is out there in Barcelona at the moment. He's going to let us know what he thinks of the show itself. But we saw some really interesting things on this show. Not only did we see some fun matches, but we also saw some really interesting vignettes. One of those, of course, would be from... well, we don't know who it's from. It looks like it's going to be Rey Fenix. I'm not quite sure if that is the case. Here's another shot of what it looked like. And then also later on, another spooky vignette, even spookier this time, with some smoke. And then the number 4 just appearing on screen. That's it, guys. It was just the number 4. And now people speculating that this is someone completely different and that this is going to be a surprise return for Aleister Black. Now, it will be interesting to see if either of those predictions are correct. Or if they somehow are for the same person, but they both had a very different presentation style. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go right the way back to the beginning of the show, and I'm going to let you know what I thought of each and every segment and each and every match that we got here tonight as well. It started out actually with a 6-man tag, and it was LA Knight who came out first, got great reaction. He was teamed up with Braun Strowman, and who was the other one? Jimmy Uso. And they were going up against the New Bloodline. It was a great little segment to start the show. I think it did get the fans off on a good foot. everybody was getting good reactions, some hard-hitting moves from Jacob Fatu, as you can imagine. A lot of work going on around the outside of the ring, which we actually saw a lot of throughout the show. We saw, again, just sticking to the show, going to the whole show itself, we saw loads of spots with the announce table. We saw loads of spots with the guardrail, the barriers, and loads of fighting around the ramp and stuff like that, which, again, we're going to get to in just a moment. Right, before we do that, I'm going to throw it over to a clip of Lucas. Again, as I've been saying, he has been there reporting for us live in Barcelona tonight. So let's have a little listen to his initial reactions now that he's left the venue as well. Again, really, really happy that we've managed to get Lucas out there and reporting back to us live. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We're also going to have a little kind of vlog type feature, if you will, on our TikTok and coming to our YouTube in the coming days as well. So if you want to know more of the kind of SmackDown experience in Barcelona and what that was like for Lucas, then stay tuned and subscribe to us here, I should say, on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and again at RM Pro Wrestling on social media. But let's throw it over first of all to Lucas, and again those instant reactions to what he saw live at the Olympic Arena.
So that was SmackDown, guys. As I wait for the train back to my Airbnb, we just saw Street Profits become the brand new tag team champions. They bested DIY and what was actually quite a good match. I left halfway through, but I had the remainder of it up on Netflix and I was walking to the train station. Yeah, I think that's the right decision to make. I think obviously there's been a lot of puns made about the reception that DIY have received over the past few months, and it always seems that there's not going to be you know, because of how they do pay-per-views now, they're never going to get tag title changes on pay-per-view, it seems. But I think the Street Profits are the right team, the right time. It was very weird them being presented again as baby faces after how they returned. It very much felt like they weren't baby faces, but I guess they made the switch, or necessitated the switch, because DIY just weren't working in that position. But yeah, really good time, and I'll have more feedback when I'm on the string.
All right. So once again, great to see Lucas's kind of instant reaction really to what's going on out there in Barcelona. As you see, he had to kind of make a little bit of a dive out there quickly to make his way to the tram station. You know what it's like, guys. If you go to a show, it can get chaos as you start making your way out there. So good for him. He was able to just jump on Netflix and see the ending of the match at least. So I guess he didn't miss out on too much. Now, you're watching the instant reaction review, but we were live earlier on with the watch along. So if you do want to know how we felt, well, more than instantly, pretty much at the time, really, then just watch the earlier part of that stream and you'll see exactly what we thought of the show. But again, it started out with a 6-man tag, quite a fun one, quite an enjoyable one. Again, the person coming out of this, as you might expect, looking the strongest was, of course, Jacob Fatu. But yeah, a pretty enjoyable match. He basically took out Braun Strowman and eventually would challenge him to a match next week as well. Now, after that, we got a cool little segment with Jay Cargill sitting and talking in the stands with Kathy Kelly, I believe it was. And then out of nowhere came Liv and Raquel arriving for the show, which was a bit odd now that I think about it, because they weren't on the show. What? Wait a minute. Yeah, they weren't even on the show, but they're just sitting and catering. Surely, I mean, it was filmed earlier in the day. Surely it was filmed earlier and they maybe were doing like press or something and they were in town, but they just went somewhere else and they're off to wherever WWE are at tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't that I think about it. They weren't even on the show, but a fun little segment. Again, something quite different. It was nice to see the presentation of it, just kind of freshen things up. And yeah, basically Liv taking a mick out of Jade, but Jade basically saying, look, if it weren't for me not being in the picture, you wouldn't be a tag champ, and title or not, I'll be coming after you. So it looks like we're going to get a match between Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill next week. And Morgan had a funny line where she said, just make sure you don't fall onto any cars until then, which is quite a good line, of course. Of course, the main point of the promo initially was to kind of build on this situation with Naomi and potentially Bianca Belair as well. Next up, we got a match between B-Fab and Charlotte Flair. Now, this is one that I actually quite enjoyed, actually. I think B-Fab, we looked into her singles match history on the watch along because, again, I couldn't really recall if any times I've actually seen her wrestle one-on-one. But I think she did really well. Considering her experience, I think she did, as I say, very well. We saw many times tonight wrestlers speaking Spanish to the Spanish crowd. I think great. I think that was something that they did really, really well. Of course, we had Axiom come out later on, who didn't speak, but, a representation of Spain. But then many Spanish-speaking countries, of course, have wrestlers in the WWE as well. So here you've got B-Fab, growing up in Colombia, so she can speak Spanish. We also saw some Spanish, of course, from Damian Priest, being Puerto Rican. We even saw the Miz talk Spanish, I think it was. Who else did we get? We've got quite a lot, to be honest. But anyway, moving back to the match itself, B-Fab versus Charlotte Flair was quite a good one as well. I think B-Fab looked better than I expected. Not just saying like how she looks as a wrestler, but I think the presentation of her, I think they gave her quite a lot of offense. They made her look like a threat to Charlotte Flair, but the right decision was made, of course, for Charlotte Flair to come away with the victory because she's got to look strong going into the match at WrestleMania with Tiffany Stratton. Now, speaking of Tiffany Stratton, wow. Wow. This match just, this segment, I should say, just went on and on and on. It was a bit like the CM Punk Seth Rollins situation a few weeks back on Monday Night Raw, where they just kept brawling and get pulled apart. But this time, every time they got pulled apart, someone went up high and jumped on the other one. We saw off a turnbuckle, I think the announce table. Eventually, we would see it spill into the next segment, which was Miz TV, by the way. It felt like we were moving straight into that, but no. These guys start spilling back out onto the mat again, into the ramp again, I should say. Then you got Tiffany Stratton climb up to the Titantron or the screen, whatever they want to call it these days. And look, it wasn't the highest one. It wasn't like Shane McMahon falling off of it, or even a few Jeff Hardy stunts we've seen in the past. But credit where it's due, it was still a fantastic spot, a great visual. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton flew swanton off the top of the Titantron onto Charlotte Flair, and of course all the security taking the fall as well. Now, she'd already done this spot, again a flip off the turnbuckle, and she tucked a little late and she landed kind of a little not messy, but a messier than the spot we've just been talking about. So I'm not sure if this was just done on the fly to say, get it again, we want to use another promo shot for the promos going forward. So I'm not entirely sure, but either way, a cool little spot there. Did enjoy what we saw from Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. And of course, as you might expect, Tiffany Stratton got a great reception from the fans out in Spain as well. Now, along of Charlotte Flair's entrance, you can see that the fans were really happy to see the Queen. A few woos there, and then in a moment, lovely little firework display as well. And it really did. I mean, the presentation on this show was quite impressive. It was, I guess, just a SmackDown, but the fact that they were given, big pyro, that we got a title match and a title change at the end of it as well. I think they gave the fans in Barcelona their money's worth. I really do think it was a good show. Another little clip we got here from Lucas as well. Here's again of that melee we saw on the outside of Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair going at it. Again, great to have Lucas's reporting coming live from Barcelona throughout the night as well. Let's move on to the next segment as well. We saw... What do we see next? I think it was... No, we've had the empty arena thing. We've had the Charlotte Flair and B-Fab. Next up, we got Drew McIntyre basically hyping up why he doesn't like Damian Priest, which we'll get to in a bit because that was part of the show as well. That was it, the Miz TV segment that we were supposed to get. Now, Cody Rhodes was the guest on Miz TV, and well, it didn't last long, did it? Cody Rhodes came out, didn't have much to say, a little bit annoyed at the fact that the Miz cut him off. He didn't want it to be sing along with Cody Rhodes, and basically when Cody gets up for the second woe on his entrance, The fans sing it, but Cody gets a little bit annoyed because the music has stopped because Miz has demanded for it to be the case. Now he gets down, jumps to the floor, uppercut, hits him with a crossroads and throws him out the ring. That was pretty much it. Then he gets on the mic and says, look, John Cena, I'm coming for you, basically. I'm going to be on Raw next week. You're going to be there. We're going to be under the same roof. Let's see what happens, pretty much. So, yeah, straight to the point. I do somewhat feel bad for the fans in Barcelona because I feel like Cody Rhodes is such a big deal at the moment for a lot of people that they haven't seen him live in this version of Cody Rhodes, at least as WWE champion or even since his return to WWE as the American Nightmare. So I do hope that they've had some sort of dark segment. I'm not sure if they have, but either way, it's not like he didn't show up and he didn't give them something. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's the kind of, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a dark match. But again, it's been a long, long night for those out there in Barcelona. As much as they had a fun show, I'm sure a lot of them are like Lucas and heading for the tram quite quickly. But that was the Miz TV segment. Again, quite a fun segment. I'm glad it didn't go over. It didn't go on or anything like that. It was straight to the point and quite fun. Now, talking of fun, the speculation going forward is going to be wild, right? When it comes to what we saw here, it looks like to me a promo for Rey Fenix. Here's a closer shot as well, and you can see there the outline of what looks to me like a luchador, but specifically, again, it does look like Rey Fenix. I've got to say. Now we get another one of these later on, but I want to know, what do you guys think? Is Rey Fenix showing up in WWE anytime soon? If not, who else is it, right? And it's interesting that we're getting this just before WrestleMania. There's a lot going on in WWE, man. There's a lot to be excited about. Next up, we've got Damian Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura backstage having a little bit of a disagreement, essentially. That ended up becoming a match. And, yeah, pretty fun match overall. Again, the presentation in Nakamura, incredible. His entrance is so cool. Just reminding me how disappointed I am that they gave him the US title just for nothing, it seems. Yeah, LA Knight looks over as Rover, as they say at the moment. Again, looked fantastic out there in Barcelona. Got a great reception from the fans. Deserves to be a champion, you could say as well. But yeah, why take it off him? I'm still not quite sure. Anyway, Damian Priest wins from a disqualification essentially because Drew McIntyre arrived and he tried to distract him first of all, but he hit the South of Heaven on Nakamura. Looked like he was going to go for the win and pick it up, but Drew McIntyre ended up attacking Damian Priest and causing the disqualification. Again, pretty enjoyable segment, fun match. The ending, exactly what you need it to be, right? I think this has set up their feud so much more than it previously was. I think when we saw the rumors coming out of Royal Rumble and then saw what happened at Elimination Chamber and it seemed clear what they were going to do. Bit confusing, but now it starts to make more sense. Speaking of making more sense, I'm going to bring in our Roman reporter now, Lucas, who is out there in Barcelona. So here he is, live from Spain. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, guys. Don't know if you can hear me.
All good.
Yeah, all good. Yeah. So I'm just literally near the hotel again on the Airbnb, and what a show that was tonight, eh?
Amazing.
SmackDown delivered, I want to think. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to not trip over or get run over.
Be careful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The only thing I have to say, it doesn't need to be 3 hours. My God.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of action tonight and a lot of storyline progression to WrestleMania, which is interesting. You know, because sometimes these international shows, when they're TV, they can feel a bit like an afterthought. But I think they're doing a really good job of making it seem like a big deal. Obviously, some of the boos that came later on in the broadcast, I don't know whether they made the broadcast, but definitely during the show. But when they were announcing stuff for next week,
yeah, the Roman Reigns one was the worst one.
Well.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
The Roman Reigns one was the worst for that.
Yeah, they did not like that at all. Or the Braun and Jacob Fatu announcement, it got booed quite heavily, which, you know, I get that obviously, you know, that's just one of those things, isn't it? But, it just feel like some people tonight, a lot of people tonight actually did expect Roman Reigns to be there. The kind of section I was in, a lot of Roman Reigns fans. There's a big CM Punk outpouring, you know, and so I think it's something they may need to look to address, you know, going forward, because, you know, going into TV without some of your big stars, you know, people might feel a bit shortchanged. But I think for the show, you know, the show that we got though was very, very good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, like you say, the 3-hour thing is what I've been kind of saying myself as well. I think just from watching it at home felt kind of tiring. So I can imagine in the arena it felt even more so. But yeah, overall, I think a great show. I mean, you got a title change. We've got teases. I don't know how much you saw about those teases. I mean, did you see much of that? People were speculating the first one, Ray Phoenix, the second one, Alistair Black. Have you got thoughts on those?
Yes, it's 4, isn't it? The number 4 is in what we Dark and Mystery. I mean, I thought that the what do you call it? The first teaser was for Axiom, because it had the whole what do you call it?
Like the lucha theme. So just that he was going to appear on the night, a little hint towards that, maybe.
But yeah, it had all that. But I wasn't too sure. Then obviously after that, they then did the what do you call it? The actual trailer, so to speak, for Axiom. Followed by obviously Axiom having a date. Oh, God, what a debut!
Yeah,
what a
unbelievable.
Debut.
Yeah.
The whole arena was basically shaking during that match and during the Randy Orton match. I've said this previously on this channel. I think you know, Randy Orton is becoming, you know, he's getting that kind of just legacy pop now, isn't he? Everyone's just so happy to have him back and having part of the company.
Yeah,
and yeah,
I imagine you had some goosebumps when his song was being sung, and I'm sure you were singing at the top of your lungs as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of singing tonight, and it's always quite interesting when you come internationally. I'm just going to move away from the residential properties, because obviously I don't want to be on.
Unless they hear us and subscribe, we don't want to disturb them too much.
Indeed. So the rain has just about stopped here. Thankfully, it was a miserable evening, as you probably saw from some of the clips I sent you earlier. It was absolutely miserable evening, especially to get in. And you know what's interesting about these European ones is that you kind of get to see how kind of relaxed it is in these places, compared to obviously England in particular, and definitely America. You know, it was very relaxed getting in, maybe too relaxed, I might like, especially given the weather. It just felt a bit like a free for all. And then once you kind of got in, again, it was just like, you know, it was very just free, basically. It's free to do what you wanted.
Okay.
But you know, like I think they, you know, what I did notice though, and I spoke to someone actually, a guy from Chile. I can't remember his name. I sat next to him in my first section of the evening. We'll get to that.
Oh, you did a bit of skipping, did you?
Yeah, basically, I just got so overwhelmed by the time I got in. I needed to go to the toilet, and then I just didn't. The numbers were all different to what was in my ticket, and I couldn't find anyone. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit here. So anyway, I sat next to a guy from Chile actually. Again, everything I'm about to say follows with a pinch of salt, but apparently he either has worked with or knows someone who works with Stephanie Vaquer, and he was going to talk to me about her and about how next year already there's 2 shows announced for Chile. I believe they're going to be house shows or maybe part of a tour. But obviously he had never actually seen the product live. He lives in Madrid. So obviously this was the closest one for him to come to. But he's never actually seen it live. And so annoyingly I had to then move afterwards. I'd like to see his kind of reaction to obviously the whole machine and stuff. But then in my other section, I got speaking to the people either side of me and the person in front, one of the people in front. And it just felt like people were so happy, kind of that there was the product coming, to the thing. But something that I did find out is that they had a ticket sale last week. And I checked this myself because, yes, on the day tickets were actually available for half the price.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's a ticket. I took a screenshot earlier, but the ticket in the section that I was looking at previously was €100. And on the day, if I wanted to buy it then and there, they wanted €50 for it. So it did seem that there'd been like a late surge in sales because of those ticket prices being reduced.
It did look cool though, because when you first showed us pictures and stuff when you got there, it was slowly filling up, and you said it was a
Yeah.
smaller venue and a smaller setup. I got to be honest, the way they presented it on TV, it looked bigger than what you showed us. So it was really interesting to get both kind of views of that. But what did you feel like once it did fill up? Did it feel like it was a sold out house for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, there was, you know, behind the hard cam, you know, there was empties. I don't know what they're claiming on. Again, we don't know. I obviously sitting there live. I don't know the announcements.
They didn't announce it, as far as I remember. So
yeah, because it wasn't a sellout.
Yeah,
but it's still like a very, very big house, and I think obviously having the you know, the fan being very loud and receptive is good, but I think they may have learned that, I think, you know, in this part of the world, having tickets at and above, you know, the 300, 400, 500 euro marks isn't really going to cut it, you know, and hence the severe price reductions that we're seeing. And the proof of it, it's not, you know, I know in the comments some people, there's a lot of these posts go, oh, you know, you're just an AEW fanboy or this, that, and the other, but it's like, it's proof. Like, I checked myself. When I moved to my second section, I chose a seat that was for sale, so I knew that no one would actually come and sit there, because technically no one actually bought the seat. Right. So I had moved to that. I mean, you know, but I would say it felt like a loud, full crowd, you know. And I think that they don't need to worry about particularly selling out kind of all these kind of things. I think it's just a case of getting the interest and being able to go back next year. And we got to remember where we come from. We've come from, you know, first house shows where, you know, they didn't really matter, then to TV, which got, you know, in a nice possible way, increasingly lazier and lazier as the years went on, as it stuck to a format of, you know, before Mania, or also after WrestleMania, or was it before or after Survivor Series? And then
we used to get after Mania and around November. So it must have been early. It must have been just before Survivor Series.
I think before Survivor Series,
at the end of November, Survivor Series. So yeah,
and you know, one Raw went down south, one Raw and SmackDown went obviously up north, and that's how is. But you know, to get to the state now where obviously they're about to promote, obviously, well, in terms of Europe, they're about to promote obviously Clash in Paris. I don't know if Clash can be anywhere now to them.
No forget the castle.
No castle anymore. But it does seem like they're stacking these shows on this tour. Like, you know, next week obviously they announced a lot for next week. You know, obviously Roman Reigns returning in Italy. He got booed tonight, but I don't think he'll get booed this week when he's live.
Not,
and of course, you've got Jade Cargill's first in-ring action since he attacked by Naomi. Next week, you've got Zelina Vega actually back in action. She'll be facing, I think, Piper Niven. And of course, the big Hoss fight, no bread, no water, just me. To quote a Booker T. And you've got Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman going at it. Which one would assume is going to like end in some sort of brawl, and they're going to go on and face again at Mania. Because this has Mania written all over it, surely.
Well, I mean, there were so many people in that opening segment with the 6 out of 6 that I was like, what are they doing at Mania? Like, I just can't picture it. I mean, that's the one that's the most nailed on at the moment. But yeah, quite hard to tell. Look, we'll cover that more as we go on, you know, leading up to WrestleMania itself. But I just want to get your thoughts a little bit more on kind of the in-house experience, right? So what would you say off the top of your head were the most kind of exciting moments and pops, you know, whether it be someone's entrance or a reaction to a line said in a promo, or, you know, where did you see the fans really kind of get off their feet and kind of make some noise?
I think although there was a bit of a lull at one point, I think the crowd was actually really good the whole show. But I think the main ones that would stick out was Axiom, and I'm just saying Axiom is in the entire package that was entered in front of them. I think the entrance, you know, the Gunther. I'd actually argue Gunther's promo kind of. I liked how, to be fair, with promos tonight. Obviously, I messaged you while I was there saying it's always weird when we do these promo segments in front of fans whose first language isn't English. But I think they did a good way around it tonight. Obviously, LA Knight came out and did his catchphrase 10 times in a row. So that was quite an easy one. And then they set up a 6-man tag. Obviously, Miz TV was barely 2 minutes long because, you know, Cody just got straight to it. And then again, with this, it was a case of Gunther just said, you know, he just basically got the heat, you know, on Barcelona by referring to Madrid, which obviously is a rival city of theirs. And then went straight into, I'm going to face A-Kid, face Axiom. But I think everything about Axiom and how he presented tonight was the crowd absolutely loved. They loved, and it was a fantastic, like truly a fantastic match. It's quite easy sometimes with these things when there's hometown heroes involved to go like, oh, it's just because it's our hometown. No, the match was fantastic. Like it was a truly fantastic match, and obviously, if it's looking likely that Axiom and Nathan Fraser, for Axiom, I think they've now actually finally filed for a trademark for that.
Yeah.
If it is likely that they are going to be called up, to SmackDown, well, I guess to the main roster, and it seems maybe SmackDown after Mania, I think, they'd be a great addition. But that was basically one of them. I also think Randy Orton, like I said, I think he's just entered that legacy era, if you pardon all the puns of that, where people just will not boo the guy. Like, they just will not boo the guy. They love him. And people are so respectful towards him, when he's obviously making his entrance and stuff. And then the other one that surprised me, and I think they should be quite glad about it, is I think B-Fab. I think B-Fab got quite a good reception. I think, obviously, I think there was only one women's match the whole show, wasn't there? I think.
It spilled into the Tiffany Stratton segment, which was crazy, which I want to get your thoughts on in a moment as well. But you're right. I think B-Fab was presented really well, and for someone that I was looking into her history, I was trying to see how many singles matches she's had, and it really isn't much, and hardly any. And so I think I was surprised how well presented she was, but still protected Charlotte. I think it was really well done.
Yeah, I think this is what we needed. I think we needed to see Charlotte obviously have a match. And obviously it was good that she was able to do it with someone who hasn't really had much ring time. And maybe this is a part of Charlotte which, I guess, there's lots of stuff about Charlotte, all the politics and stuff that she's into potentially. But I think if this is something that she wants to do, and she wants to obviously give this time to women who don't get time, let's be real. Like there was nothing for B-Fab. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, it gave her something to do. Yeah.
Given the chance to go, with Charlotte Flair. Obviously, the brawl that followed. Now, I'm hoping, obviously, WrestleMania season, and two things crop up quite a lot during WrestleMania season. Number one is the pull-apart brawls. Number two is the talk show segments. It seems that talk show went away for a little bit, and we kind of almost had one today. I don't know. Like, do you count Miz TV as one today? It was really kind of didn't restart, did it? But I think that they've got to be careful not to overdo this trope. I thought while there was the good dive that Tiffany did off the top rope, and then obviously the bigger dive she did when they came back, which is very weird for them to do that on SmackDown.
I wasn't sure if the first one, because she tucked her head late on the swanton off the top rope. It looked good, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, you know what, we could do something bigger, go back and do this, because it came after the break as well.
It feels like too big a spot to just go and do it.
Yeah,
especially because Miz referred to it as well and everything. I mean, look, they are professionals. I get that could happen. The only kind of gripe is, I think all the pull-apart brawls are becoming the same, and you kind of see the next thing happening, like, very quickly, because they do the whole, like, and why do they pull them apart and just leave them next to each other? Or not, like, leave the gap so they can run around. It's quite odd. And then, there is that part where you're like, also, so what, like 10 to 15 men can't separate two women. It doesn't make any sense to me. It kind of takes you out of it a little bit. I think they maybe need to look at how they present these things, particularly as we are on the road to WrestleMania, and we're going to be seeing these quite a lot now. Like, I just think having the whole, like, they pull apart, but then they don't really go apart, and that leaves them to run around, and they're able, like, just to dive on top of them, like, at free will, it seems. I think they maybe got to have a think about how they do these segments. But I thought, weirdly, actually thought the second part of the segment was better. And maybe that's what they should have done. They should have had the pull apart and actually have it be. I think that's what it is. I think the pull apart brawl now, it almost seems like it never actually gets pulled apart.
Yeah, so I think it was great when Punk and Rollins did, but because that was only a few weeks ago, it was like, oh, this is a bit strange to do it again. It was different. I think the spot was fantastic, and I think it makes their feud look good. But yeah, it can feel a bit repetitive at times and a bit silly as well. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we need to find, a different way to obviously tell the same story.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly
what wrestling is as a whole. Yeah. But, look, for this crowd, it got the pop. Tiffy's very, very over. She was very, very over. Charlotte, even though she was getting booed throughout the match, she got cheered in her entrance, and she gets that kind of, there is still that kind of like, we're happy she's here kind of pop that she gets.
Yeah.
be interesting seeing how they develop that kind of going into WrestleMania, where you'd have to imagine Charlotte Flair is going to be the villain, and obviously Tiffany Stratton is the babyface, which obviously is a big change from where we were last year. And Tiffany has had this kind of like wave, all the time, it seems. Even since leaving NXT, she left NXT, even though as a villain, but as a beloved villain, and then she debuted in the main roster as a villain. But then she kind of, I guess, because how she wrestled as well, isn't it? But it'd be interesting seeing. But what I liked about this though is it's the first kind of realness to this feud. Does that make sense? Like, it's all right. Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble, then pointing at the sign, and then kind of coming out after Tiffany had a match and doing one move. But this is like the first I've seen. This is actually the match now. Like, get excited for it. This is actually the match. And obviously, as we continue on this road to WrestleMania, we have to be thinking about. We pretty much do know Night 2's main event, but what is Night 1's? Like, is it going to be one of the women's matches? Is it going to be Jey Uso and Gunther? Or is it going to be something else? And obviously, something else did come into fruition today. Potential kind of story that might get that Night 1 spot in the main event. As obviously Paul Heyman returned, and obviously announced Roman Reigns, and there's that kind of ongoing feud. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, which that could be a main event. At WrestleMania, we say one of the nights. We're talking about Night 1 now. Let's be deadly honest. I cannot fathom a universe that exists where John Cena and Cody Rhodes is not the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania. The only way I can't fathom that happening is if there's a Night 3. Again, I think there'd be a Night 3, and that'll be the main event.
And one day that could be the case, but for now it's 2. I think that the triple threat could potentially open one of the nights as well. But again, sees what else is going on with the card as well. But look, it's going to be a really interesting road to WrestleMania, especially because there are so many pit stops through Europe. It's going to be great to be able to do a lot more of these streams as we do to kind of, watch SmackDown and Raw at a reasonable time. But it's been really good to have you out there in Barcelona and keeping us up to date with what's been going on as well. Going to let you go, mate. But before you do, just let me know if there's any kind of big things we missed or any other points you want to make about the kind of in-venue experience you had there for SmackDown tonight.
No, it was good. It was good. Nice venue. And look forward to the next one. And I'll be on the stream most likely on Monday as Raw rolls into Brussels, and we talk about all things John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and everything else that's going on. But thanks for having me on, Scott, and I'll see you soon.
Perfect, mate. Thanks for the updates. Take care. Get home safe.
Yeah, man. All right, bye.
All right. So once again, great to see Lucas out there live, letting us know what's going on in Barcelona for WWE SmackDown. What a show it was. Now let's throw it over to some of these comments here. We've got the OG and the only Mark UK. Great to have you back in the house, mate. You say, can someone tell Charlotte to actually help younger talent go over instead of standing to the side and falling over herself as the security went down? Yeah, I did notice that as well. And I think it stood out more because they're all in like black shirts, right? And she's in this really bright colored thing. I noticed it more in the Swanton from the top rope. She was like in the corner, barely involved. Now, when you get these big spots and it's like 6 people in a match and the 6 jumps on the rest of the 5, it kind of works. Or there's that many people and then all these, security around them. But when it was one person in a bright color, I think it really stood out with her blonde hair looking very different as well. It stood out that she wasn't in the fire line in that bit. So I get what you mean for that. But you said as well, for me, I think because Charlotte messed up the first one, they sent her back out to do a second one. Okay, so again, touching on that Swanton, you do feel like the first one with Charlotte being in that position might have been, because exactly that. You're right. They wanted to, as I said earlier on, surely have this to promote the match going forward. And if Charlotte's barely in the clip, because she's on the edge of it, it wouldn't look as good. So as Lucas said, this is, maybe they wouldn't, this is kind of spot they would plan in future, but maybe, again, they are professionals and it wasn't as high as telling someone like, again, Shane or Jeff Hardy to go up as high as they've been in the past. Again, credit to Tiffany for doing the spot, but I don't think it's out of possibility that they did in the break go, Tiff, would you be comfortable jumping off of that? We're doing it again. Now, going on to some more of these comments as well. Mark, you say the luchador is Rey Fenix, again, referring to the segment we saw, the little spooky vignette we saw. It looks like it is a luchador. It looks like it is Rey Fenix. We'll have to see. Time will tell. Speaking of spooky vignettes as well, again, a lot of rumors going around about this one. Completely different presentation style. So I don't think they are about the same person. Don't know what 4 means, but suddenly people think Aleister Black is on his way back and it's related to him. I wouldn't be against that. But again, great to have Lucas's input there. Great for those in the comments. Keep them coming, guys. You are now watching the instant reaction review. Earlier on, we did the watch along of the show itself. If you are yet to watch the show, feel free to go back and watch it on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. But here we are on the instant reaction review. Not only we had an instant reaction from me watching from TV, again, it's incredible that we've had the opportunity to hear what Lucas had to say as he was out there in Spain for the show itself. Now, picking up with the review of segment by segment that I was given earlier on, the last thing we spoke about, of course, was the Damian Priest-Drew McIntyre match, moment, I should say, leading towards their match at WrestleMania. And again, I do feel like this has started to heat things up and make that match and feud seem a little bit more important. When we had the promo video and Drew explained why he wants to go after Priest, I think it made a lot more sense. And then it got quite vicious here. I think it was quite good, well executed. Next up, we had the in-ring return of Randy Orton against Carmelo Hayes. Now, this was a very fun match as well. Again, Lucas was there singing his heart out as we got to just a moment ago, very much with the other fans in Barcelona. And we got some really good spots in this as well. Once again, throw it over to a clip that Lucas sent us earlier on. Really enjoyed this move from Carmelo Hayes. As you see, misses the jump off the top rope. And this moment here, look at this, jumps onto the amazing spot, jumps off of the rope in a springboard motion, does the DDT. Orton can't even see it coming, doesn't know what's coming. So proper pro there as well. Really, really well executed. And some really fun spots in this match overall. I think it did make both of them look good, essentially, which is basically what you want, right? Randy Orton, of course, massively, massively over, as you would expect. Doing this kind of, not a retirement tour like John Cena, but still very much in the twilight of his career and getting mad appreciation from especially international fans when they get to see him for potentially the last time. Look, I don't want to put a clock on his career or anything like that, but as they said on SmackDown tonight, they haven't been there for a few years now. So if that happens again, who knows where we're at in the career of Randy Orton. But I do feel like he's got a little bit left in the tank, which is great to see when you see a match like he had tonight. Again, picking up the victory against Carmelo Hayes. Then we got a backstage segment I referred to earlier on where Jacob did cut that promo against Strowman. Said, look, we're going to go at it next week. So that'd be interesting to see how that goes down in Bologna. Then we got the number 4 spooky segment as well. And again, I'd love to hear your comments, guys, whether live or on demand. Let me know who you think this is referring to and the other one as well. Then we saw Gunther make his way to the ring and he said he was going to call out a kid. And it would be Axiom, hometown boy, or sort of at least home country boy. And as Lucas said earlier on, what a performance from Axiom. Talk about bursting onto the scene, right? Yes, he's a champion. He's a champion in NXT. And again, they've done really well lately. It looks like they might even get called up to the main roster. But this is kind of a picture to those that aren't sure of Axiom or haven't seen much of him, or even to those, you know, working in WWE, thinking about bringing him up, of what he can do. Now, yes, the reception is different when it's your home country, right? That was a big part of why they did this. It's the biggest part of why they did this. But man, when it comes to the talent, what a showing he put on with Gunther. A fantastic match. Really, really enjoyed it. And again, I think it was almost, or maybe even PLE quality. Gunther picks up the win here. Did think Jey Uso was going to come out. Didn't happen, but we do get some references to him later on in the show. Paul Heyman comes out, basically does a kind of tease of the triple threat situation and of, you know, Roman Reigns, CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Interesting kind of words used. He's basically really against Seth and wants Punk to know that he still is supporting of Roman, and of course wants Roman to know that because Roman looked a bit suspect at what he saw on Monday Night Raw in the steel cage when he was kind of cradling Punk essentially. But yeah, a short but sweet segment, mainly to promote 2K25. Anyway, moving on from that, we do get that segment I talked about just a moment ago with this time Jimmy Uso backstage with Gunther. Where Gunther again was basically saying, look, tell your brother not to come for me because it will end up like Axiom. It's for the best.
Look, if you want to see my thoughts on this and how it went down at the time, you can again go back and watch the watch along show. But look, overall, I thought this was a good segment. Not much else to say there. Again, it's WrestleMania season. It's about building these feuds and kind of getting in the kind of the hype season really for WrestleMania, and I think they did it well. Now I got to say the hype did start to die down around this point, maybe even a little bit earlier. Well, yeah, it was just tiring, you know. And again, the reason why we're doing this, guys, is because we're here in Europe and we get to watch it at a reasonable time. But even I'm feeling tired. It's not the 3 a.m.s or the 4 a.m.s we're used to, or even the 5 a.m. sometimes. 6. Oh gosh, I look forward to that at WrestleMania. But it was still a tiring night of watching wrestling. Now imagine being there at the show. Now that's not to say it weren't great. Like it weren't, you know, it didn't deliver. You know, it had some great moments. It had some. The fans were on fire, but they certainly started to peter out towards the end. And again, that's not just coming from us watching it on TV. Lucas said the same. Being there in person, it does start to get a little tiresome, which is a shame. Because this match coming up next really, really deserved more at the beginning. Not saying the fans didn't want to give him love. They tried. But it had to be picked up. And I think they were picked up. To the credit of DIY and to the credit of the Street Profits, this was a really fun match. A surprise switcheroo at the end with the titles. Pretty Deadly kept being shown at the back. I thought they were going to come out. I thought there'd be some sort of like schmoz finish. No, there wasn't. A title change hands in Barcelona, and it was really fun to see. I mean, Street Profits again haven't had the titles for quite some time. Still don't quite understand why they came out as baby faces, but they are. And the switch, I guess, naturally happened because people were ready to cheer for them. And yeah, they won the titles in the match that I think was really, really enjoyable. Now, it'd be interesting to see where DIY go here. You'd imagine they and the rest of the teams that have been in and around this title picture will be involved in a match at WrestleMania. Maybe a 5-way tag match if things are kind of shaping up the way they seem on WWE TV. The only way I think that might not be the case is if they took someone out of it. And I think because of the way they've treated Pretty Deadly in the past, pushing them, pulling them, pushing and pulling them, I thought it might be them. But then I was thinking, well, the UK tour's coming up, the UK section of the European tour, I should say. And Lucas was assuming that maybe they'd win the titles. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case because they've just had a title change. Stranger things have happened, but maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Either way, I think they're firmly involved in this feud. And I hope it's not just to do something in London and then take them out of the feud. I think they deserve to be in whatever this becomes at WrestleMania. Now, if you haven't already, guys, we've got an interview with the boys from Pretty Deadly, yes, boy, on this very channel. We talked about the story behind their call-up and the shock behind it for them, and also the British wrestling scene. So if you're interested in hearing what the boys have to say about that, then I do recommend checking it out on this very channel. That was, of course, when it was here for SmackDown and Money in the Bank a while back here in London, and we're hoping to bring you as much content surrounding the London shows this time around as well. But as we alluded to just a moment ago with Lucas, we're also going to be covering pretty much all of the European shows as much as we can, airing live SmackDown and Raw, just to kind of break down this exciting road to WrestleMania. Now, again, ended with a big title change, but overall a fun night. Really hope you've enjoyed watching it with me. I've enjoyed breaking it down on the Instant Reaction podcast, but also on the watch along stream earlier on. Great again to have Lucas in the house, not just this house, but that house over there in Spain, to let us know what the vibe, the experience, and the atmosphere was like for the fans in Barcelona. And really good to have those that have watched with us both live and on demand. Appreciate your comments as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I've been Scott. This has been the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. You saw Lucas out there in Barcelona. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.